network कौन से वाले पार्ट? So over and above your salary, your employer is going to. Hello and welcome everyone. Settle down please. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to start today's lecture with note 1. सबसे पहले तो you will have to tell me this is note 1 of what? Note 1 of what? क्या? अभी एक एक करके people will go out. Okay. So you फटाफट tell me this is note 1 of what? Leave encashment. We are doing income from salary. Salary के अंदर we are under allowances. Under allowances we are learning how to calculate the amount which is exempt. We are done with some complicated calculations like exemption of gratuity, exemption of pension. Now we are under calculation and leave encashment का also calculation is over. Hey, jaldi bolo because we have to solve a question on this. During service, fully taxed. Government के non-government, both. But at retirement, government employee fully exempt. At retirement, non-government employee we will give some exemption, which is based on the limits. 1, actual receipt, maximum notified over lifetime 20 lakh. Third is 10 months का salary. So take monthly salary, which we are going to define in this note. वो note 1 का reference was given for salary. 10 months का salary. And fourth, salary into balance months, salary into balance leave as per income tax. Agar that is given in days, you have to divide by 30 and convert it into months. And always divide by 30 average. So first salary. Do you understand that if we are taking salary after his retirement of 20 years, we will have to decide that we will have to take salary of which point of time? There was some salary at the time of joining. Hello. There is some salary at the time of retirement. पोगा के अंदर what was the rule? Oh, short term memory loss. People covered under पोगा, last drawn. People who were not covered under पोगा, average of last 10 months before the date of retirement. Here, the salary का period given is average salary. एक बात बताओ, is there any other law applicable or did we name any other law here? Like we mentioned POGA in gratuity. Whenever there is no other law applicable, income tax is going to keep it logical. So they say average salary of last 10 months. Did they give the same thing also in non-POGA cases? Average salary of last 10 months? That way it appears to be same. But still there is a difference. They say this has to be taken before the date of retirement. This in pure Hindi language is called pagal kutta kata, because average there, average here, last 10 months there, last 10 months here, but you want to keep some variety everywhere. As a student rightly identified, just before class a student told me that tax ka complication is it's a family tree, andar ke andar ke andar ke andar there is something. So there it was last 10 months before month of retirement. Here it is last 10 months before date of retirement. Meaning thereby in gratuity, you go and check non-POGA cases. If I retire on the first of the month, still the 10 months will be same. If I retire on the 15th or I retire on the 31st, the 10 months for that calculation will be same. But here, if I retire on the first, 10 months will get over on the previous 30th or 31st. If I retire on the 15th of the month, abhi suno, then my 10 months will get over on the 14th. Matlab supposingly my date of retirement is first of January. So what will be my last 10 months? March to December, correct? But if I retire on the 15th of Jan, do you remember non-POGA cases, it was same 10 months, but here it is now going to be 15th March to 14th of January. So 15th March से लगाकर 14th April, 15th April to 14th May. Like this, we will have to calculate the last 10 months because it is 10 months before the date of retirement. Of course, in the last 10 months, if there has been no change in your salary, so average will still not create a problem. But in case there is a change, so you will have to take proportionate salary of both months. Supposingly November ka salary is different from December ka salary. So 15th November to 30th November you will have to take proportionate, and then 1st December to 14th December you will have to take proportionate, and accordingly calculate your last 10 months ka salary. Unnecessary additional burden on taxpayers, unnecessary additional burden on students. They could have kept it simple. They could have kept it uniform everywhere, just like non-POGA was last 10 months before the month of retirement. They could have kept the same thing. Only this one word is creating the trouble. But I believe you have understood at least the calculation. Samjha? And then what is the second thing that we have to always define every time we are defining salary? What are we going to take under the components of salary? What will be the components? The components of salary. My question is simple again. Again, a simple question for you. Is there any other law applicable? Have we mentioned about any other law? ऐसा बोला payment of gratuity or any other law? That means whenever income tax wants to give components, they will take those components which according to them are logical. And what was that given under non-POGA? Because POGA wala components were borrowed from POGA. Even if it is illogical, we had to take it. So income tax guys made it logical when they went to the non-POGA case. What were those components in non-POGA cases? Yaad hai? Basic. Will we take DA? Which DA? Only that DA which is in terms. Correct? Because not in terms will result in manipulation. And finally, we will also take fixed percentage commission on turnover. Basic plus DA in terms plus fixed percentage commission on turnover. These three components together will be considered for how much period? Last 10 months. But what do we have to do? Last 10 months ka total basic, last 10 months ka total DA in terms, last 10 months ka total commission earned by this employee on the turnover achieved. That total ko we will divide by 10. So if you observe the full salary ka definition, it ends up being almost the same as non-POGA cases, except that one difference. And had it not been for that difference, no, I would have said salary here is exactly same as non-POGA. What is that only difference which changes this salary from that salary? The period. Period is still 10 months. So you can't say that that is the difference. Here the last 10 months will be before date of retirement, and there it was last 10 months before month of retirement. That was definition of salary, your note 1. And then if you observe leave encashment ka calculation, we have given also reference of note 2, because in note 2 we have to give definition of the second thing. What is the second thing that we are interested in knowing? The meaning of balance leave. And as I told you that we will be taking always in months, and by chance they give us in days. So we will divide by 30. Sorry about the interruption. If the balance leave is given to us in days, we will convert it into months because we are multiplying by monthly salary. And how to convert? Constant mein they have kept it simple. For simplicity, they have said always divide by 30. Okay. As far as the definition of balance leave is concerned, you guys are having this understanding, and I think we also discussed it in the last class, that every year your boss is going to give you some holidays. That is your available leave over your entire work life. And I understand, you understand, this is retirement. So we have to take total available leave for his entire work life. From this, at least there will be some leaves that he must have taken. Some holidays so everyone will take. Will that give us the balance leave? Correct? When you join the job, your employer tells you that I am going to give you 2 months ka, that is 60 days ka leave per year. How many months is giving you per year? 2 months. 60 months. 2 months. See, if they give you 60 days, you will convert it into 2 months. And if they give you 2 months, 2 months. And we are taking an example that you have worked for say about 20 years. So according to your employer, your available leave is, do you understand, 40 months? Correct hai? Now during these 20 years kuch to leave you must have taken. You have taken 240 days holidays. How many days? 240 days, but we have to convert it into months. That means you have taken how many leaves? 240 days. 8 होगा ना, एक महीने में 60 days होता है आपके, डिवाइड बाय 30 करोगे तो 8 months will get. So tell me one thing, according to the employer, what is your balance leave at the time of retirement? So at least do you understand the meaning of balance leave? But here again there is scope of manipulation, because if you check the calculation that we have written, we have said we will take balance leave as per income tax. Here again there is scope of manipulation. The bigger the number this is, the higher will be my exemption. Do you agree with this? In this calculation, I cannot manipulate the availed leave if in the attendance registered against my name A is written I was absent. That means availed leave ka number cannot be manipulated. Get this thing clear. That means which is that number that we can manipulate? It is between you and your employer that he will give you 60 days per year. But on paper he is saying I will give you 150 days per year. On paper he is saying I will give you 10 months holiday, work only for 2 months. On paper we can write anything. Can we artificially increase the available leave and manipulate in a way that we increase the total, the availed leave being unchanged? Think about it. Simple maths hai. If available minus availed is balance leave, if available minus availed is balance. Sorry about one more interruption. Let us continue and understand. I doubt whether we will be able to have 2 hours also effective today. Okay. You all want productive time. See, you all come all the way here to take home something, some benefit for your exam purposes, for your career. So avoid all the distractions. You all are now comfortable in your places. And now let us focus on the subject matter also, because we are having unnecessary interruptions here. I again say this, that available leave is the only number that can be manipulated, because once you are absent, availed leave ka number cannot be changed. But availed remaining constant, if available is artificially increased, will it increase balance leave and accordingly increase your exemption? And this the employer and employee together can connive and manipulate this number artificially increased, which is why income tax says we will ignore this. If you observe the calculation of leave encashment ka exemption, the last point there says balance leave as per income tax. Balance leave as per income tax. Hello? Because they know that the available leave ka number will be artificially manipulated by the employer and employee together. So under this, listen to this, 1 minute. This cannot be manipulated. So this will be as it is the actual number. Whatever actual holidays you have taken. The rule is that under available leave, for the purpose of exemption calculation, we will take maximum 1 month per completed year of service. Your boss is giving you 2 months, to hell with it. We will count 1 into 20. So this will be, in our example, 20 months ka holiday minus 8 that you have taken, and therefore in our calculation the number will be 12. Boss ke calculation mein the number is 32, but we will ignore that number. We will take as per income tax, and as per income tax ka matlab is simple, that under available leave we will take maximum 1 month per year. So if your boss is giving you 2 months per year, we will take how much? 1. If the boss is giving you 3 months per year, so we will take 1. If the boss is giving you half month per year, तो सुनो, ये maximum है. So it is given by boss, or 1 month per year, whichever is lower will be available. From that you subtract the actual leaves taken, and that will give you your balance leave for the purpose of. That will give you your balance leave for the purpose of. अरे वो last वाला point D रे, short term memory loss. Salary per month into balance leave as per income tax. Hello, good morning. याद आया? हाँ, तो ladies and gentlemen, this was your note number 2. In note number 2, do you understand the main thing is available leave ka calculation, where as per income tax it will be maximum 1 month per completed year of service. Is that clear? Chalo, तो फिर as I told you, we will go and do question number 37, page number 66, please. Question 37, page number 66. ओ सुनो, अभी कैलकुलेटर सब साथ में यू रिमूव, हाँ, ऐसा नहीं कि यू रिमूव वन थिंग देन यू अगेन वेट फॉर द अदर थिंग. And listen, as and when we are doing the questions, have we finished the question of gratuity? Have we finished the question of pension? You keep on marking, because if you observe, we are not doing the questions in order. तो जो हो गया please mark. Question 37 बोला, leave encashment. Please read the question. Please read the question. Question 37, page number 66.
X, an employee of HFD Limited, retires on March 31st, 2026. After 29 years and 10 months of continuous service, he receives 8,50,000 as cash portion of his earned leave. From the following particulars, compute the amount of exemption under section 10.
मतलब can I say this is the amount of leave encashment received, and this is the actual amount from which we have to calculate our exemption, for which they have given us the data. What is the data given to us?
Average salary received during the past 10 months, basic 48,000 per month.
Will we take this? Yes. Second,
DA, forming part for retirement benefits.
will we take this? Because this is DA in terms. Next,
DA, not forming part of retirement benefits.
will we take this? No, because DA, this is DA, not in terms.
CCA, city compensatory allowance.
एक minute. Yesterday we saw this also in one question. This is given only to purposely confuse you. This is nowhere given in the calculation, but you know, to make it sound funny in class, I must have said this is given only to confuse you, this is given only to entertain you. When I said that, what I meant was the paper setter is giving only this for your entertainment as students, because a couple of students in class misinterpreted it. They thought that employer is giving this money for entertainment. तो सर ये entertainment allowance होना चाहिए ना? नहीं, paper set करने वाला is giving this for time pass, to purposely confuse you, to purposely entertain you. I hope there is no confusion about it. What is the meaning of CCA? When your employer is sending you in another city away from home, so he is going to compensate you by giving some money for staying away from home. But we don't have to take this in the calculation. I hope you understand. अरे because calculation में ये था ही नहीं. Hello. Okay, next.
Fixed percentage commission on turnover 1,500 per month.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have to be very, very careful in answering this question. My question is very simple. Is this amount going to be taken in my salary ka definition? Yes, okay, no. There are only two options. Read it, digest it, let it sink in, and then finally conclude. Yes or no. Is this to be taken? पहले digest कर लो. Don't give instant reactions. Yes or no. Okay, tell me one thing. If commission is a percentage on turnover, is that taken in the definition of salary? But if commission is fixed monthly, is that taken? No, we only take performance based commission. अभी ये question का problem is percentage and per month both are given, because you probably not observe the question carefully. Question is basically doing a favor on you students. Question ने क्या किया? Question has taken last 10 months का basic, last 10 months का DA in terms, last 10 months का percentage commission, and averaged everything in a way that 48 plus 12 plus 1,500 directly becomes your answer. You don't have to do any average. Supposingly from this question I remove only this much part and I make it commission on turnover 1,500 per month, then I will not take it, because it is monthly commission not to be taken. But the moment this part enters the question, that means this is not monthly commission, this is turnover based percentage commission. And is that included in salary ka definition? What they have done is, मैं समझाता हूँ, last 10 months का turnover achieved by this employee they took, then they applied the percentage that we give him, and that total came to 15,000. Then they averaged it to 1,500 and they gave it to you. They have solved everything and given it to you. My question is this fixed percentage commission or fixed monthly commission? Percentage. Then why have they given per month? Because they have averaged it for you, and therefore we are going to take it. One last time I say this, if that percentage wala part is removed from this question, then this commission will not be taken. Is that understood? Hello? Carry on please.
Leave entitlement for each year of service completed, but
1.5 month. So every month में every year we are giving, employer is giving him how many holidays? 1.5 month. ये available leave है and he has worked for 29 years. If you observe the calculation year part exceeding 6 months के बारे में they have not said anything. That means we will take only 29 years. But we will take 29 years into how many months as available leave? Into 1 month, because if the employer is giving 1.5, we will still take maximum 1. But if the employer was giving only half month, then we will take only half month. Correct? And finally,
leave availed while service 18 months.
अरे कुछ तो leave anybody will take. No, availed leave का number can never be manipulated. So available leave minus availed leave is going to give us our answer. ये correct है? And then finally,
your answer be different if X were an IS officer.
हाँ, एक काम करो. Give me the answer of part 2 here itself. Yes मतलब खाली yes बोल के would your answer be different? Yes. नहीं answer भी देना है. What will be the answer in that case? Because government employees. Very easy. Now let's focus on part 1. Part 1 में the exemption under section 1010 AA is going to be as usual. क्या bro? List of some numbers. First, बोलो. Actual received. How much is that? 8,50,000. काका विदाउट शुगर चाय रखते हो? अभी से मेरे को विदाउट शुगर चलेगा, लेकिन अभी से मेरे को विदाउट शुगर. Actual received 8,50,000. Second, maximum notified over lifetime for leave encashment it is 25 lakhs. Third, 10 into salary per month. Obviously, वो salary per month we will have to calculate by our working note. Come on, वैसे working note is also not required because they have averaged everything and given to you. But still, so that we can explain which amount we are taking, which amount we are not taking. And what is the fourth amount? That same salary that you have calculated under note 1 into balance leave, for which we will make another note 2. So once we make our working note and working note 2, we will have answers to point C and point D, and accordingly we can choose whichever is lowest. This question now comes down only and only to making of these working notes. First, salary. We will take average of last 10 months. In this average of last 10 months, will we take the basic salary? वो कितना? 48,000 already average for you. Add DI in terms 12,000. Only in terms we will take, not in terms, not to be taken here. And third, this is where you need to understand what we discuss in the question. It is only going to be fixed percentage commission that we will take. But because this is percentage commission, we will be taking this 1,500. Correct है? Note 1 का answer 61,500. And what about your note 2? Balance leave. Available में what will we do? Employer is giving me कुछ तो बोलो रे. हाफ डेड पीपल कॉलेज का एग्जाम दिया, सीए का एग्जाम देके यू नॉट कम हियर. मैक्सिमम 1 month per completed year of service. That means he has worked for 29 years. We will take only 29. Even if your employer is giving you 1.5, maximum 1 we will take. Minus during his working life he has taken 18 months का holiday. Is this balance leave as per income tax? Come on. and with which you can come and complete your working hours. 10 into 61,500, that is 6,15,000, and here you have that same 61,500 into the balance leave of 11, that's what 676,500. Finally, I think this is the lowest of all, is going to become your exemption under 1010 AA. किया ना working note 2? You can't see. Anything that I'll write on the last few lines, you won't be able to see. अभी क्या height के order में बैठना चाहिए? It was your choice to take that corner वाला last row वाला seat. It was not your choice. ठीक है. वैसे the written part will always be on record multiple times. I have told you one way or the other I can provide access to this. While solving, your mind should be upon getting the correct answers. Written material will be made available to you. Everyone is clear on this? Hello? Chalo. That was your section 1010 AA. That is, ये complete किया. You saw this, that lowest of the 4, 6,15,000 is going to become your answer. Let's go ahead. We are still under allowances and it's a big part. Suno, salary ka chapter only is allowances and perquisites. Correct hai? And my calculation now says that Saturday tak we may not probably be able to complete the chapter. We might need one extra lecture. Abhi kya hoga, Saturday ke baad mein we have 4 days ka gap because of Diwali ka holidays. All the link will be broken. I can solve the problem agar Sunday ko complete. Nahi? I know your reaction is, sir, 4 months में we don't forget things, so how do you expect that 4 days में we will forget things? Correct है, ठीक है. चलो, let's go by the flow, whatever we are able to complete. And one thing is for sure that every time we are combining it, the speed is going to automatically reduce. You must have experience in other subjects as well. ठीक है. I have not given you this time to discuss के चला ना अपन Saturday ला ठेवू या extra lecture. नहीं, I have not given you the time to discuss that. Section 1010B. Tax exemption, every time you get an income called, an allowance called, an amount called retrenchment compensation. Shall I teach you the tax exemption 1, 2, 3, whichever is lowest is the answer? Chalega? Okay, you want something more also. What do you want to know? What does it mean? Because leave travel allowance ka meaning you understood, then you learn the calculation. Same is the case of gratuity, pension, leave encashment. What do you mean by retrenchment compensation? In simple language, compensation for loss of job. Developed countries में तो system है, one fine day you walk into the office and your employer will tell you, you are fired without giving you any reason. But India ka labor laws are very, 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 very strict. In India, there is a law called Industrial Disputes Act. एक law है. I think the year is 1947, but ठीक है, that is not important. I'm not 100% sure, but that's not important. There is a law called Industrial Disputes Act, under which if an employee is removed from job without giving any proper and valid reason, you have to give that employee compensation. At least those who have worked for minimum 5 years. Because see, someone who has joined recently and is inefficient, you can without reason also remove. You don't want to continue with someone, you can remove. Recently one case had taken place where a company ka CEO sent emails to employees to join a Zoom meet. And the moment the Zoom meet was started, the first thing he said was, if you received the invitation, I have bad news for you. We will have to let you go away. So whoever was invited to the Zoom meet was basically removed from the job. But Industrial Dispute Act not applicable because they were all newcomers, new joinees. Every morning you open Economic Times, this company has laid off this many employees, that company has laid off. In fact, the IT sector, every morning there are thousands of employees being laid off. If they have completed a certain number of years and given dedicated service to your organization, then it is compulsory that you will have to give them some compensation under Industrial Disputes Act. Many a times these matters go to court because employers are removing their employees without reason. So employees want compensation. They file a case against their employer. On the other hand, employer during the court case tries to prove that you were inefficient, you came to office in an intoxicated state, you came to office late, you misbehaved with people in office, are the various things which employer will try to prove. Finally, whether the compensation is to be paid or not to be paid, who will decide? Who will decide? Court will decide. If the court decides that the compensation has to be paid, payer will be employer, receiver will be employee, income will be taxable under salary, and from that, our task is not to discuss, sir, compensation to be paid or not to be paid. That court will decide, judges will decide. Our task is to only learn the tax treatment of that compensation received by the employee. And please understand, here there won't be any chart. Here there won't be during service or at retirement. Bheja hai, bheja. This can't be during service. You are thrown out. You have brain to understand it can't be small amount or big amount. It is always going to be a big lump sum amount. It's a compensation for loss of job. And therefore, directly we will go and learn the exemption. The exemption here is going to be least of the following. First, bolo, the actual receipt. Actual received is always going to be given to you in the question. श्लोक 5 मिनट के लिए बाहर चलो. अभी मेरे पास कोई ऑप्शन तूने नहीं छोड़ा. स्टैंड अप राइट नाउ, अदरवाइज आई विल लीव. अभी का भी खड़ा होकर निकल. Enough is enough. एक सेकंड के अंदर you guys have to misbehave. I cannot tolerate it. You have crossed all the limits. And one by one be ready mentally. मेरे को पता है अभी क्लास में कैसे जगह बनाना. Actual receipt is always going to be given to you in the question. Second is going to be maximum notified over lifetime. Gratuity में how much? 20. पेंशन में कुछ नहीं था. Leave encashment, and there are only 2 more places. Both places it is 5 lakh. Is that clear? एक और है after this, next section and last. As per Industrial Dispute Act, one calculation is given, because we have understood by now, whenever any other law is applicable, one calculation will be borrowed from that law. Industrial Dispute Act also says, every time you remove an employee without reason, you pay him, listen to this, half month salary for each year of service. What do you pay him? Half month salary for each year of service. Is it the same thing that was given under payment of gratuity as? And now look, what is their half? 15 by 26 into salary per month. Which one? Last drawn salary per month, and in this salary you will take basic plus both DA, both matlab in terms as well as not in terms, and then multiply it by completed years of service, CYOS, completed years of service, or any part of a year exceeding 6 months. So if it is 8 years and 10 months, we take 9 years, more than 6 months, upper round up. Sir, does this calculation appear Sunela familiar? Where? Exactly same as the calculation of POGA. Whatever is the compensation defined under POGA is also defined under Industrial Dispute Act, which is why you don't have any questions on retrenchment compensation. They don't ask questions on this. If they have to test you on this calculation, they will preferably ask you a question on gratuity. At least there is more variety. They can ask you during service, they can ask you government employee, and then finally they can test you on this calculation. But under retrenchment compensation, the variety of questions is less, and therefore they prefer to ask questions on gratuity, because the calculation here and there is absolutely same. That was your tax exemption of that section called 1010B, retrenchment compensation. Please, Bula usko. Sorry, it is applicable to everyone. Section 1010C. Next section. If you think that the person sitting next to you is the constant disturbance and uski wajah se unnecessary action is being taken against you, I give you the opportunity right now. आप अभी अपना place change कर लो. Then what will happen if probably, of course, ये भी करेंगे किधर, but if then later if I tell both of you all to leave the class, then please don't waste my time by saying it was not my fault, his fault or her fault, because it is possible that 2 benches can also go out. So I will make space for everyone. Okay, then you don't tell me that I am unnecessarily getting involved. Don't sit next to those people who are disturbing you in class. This is the most important thing in your life and career right now. Okay, not those stupid conversations with the people sitting next to you are having with you. There is absolutely no sense in those conversations. This is going to make your career, not those conversations. Karna hai to after class you have plenty of time to do that. Okay, section 1010C, the payment of VRS, that is voluntary retirement scheme. Whenever any organization is in growth phase, so we hire lots of employees. You know, when we start our organization, we will progress like this. There will be ups and downs, but we will progress. During our growth phase, will we recruit more and more employees because we are progressing, we have more and more income, we need more people. One day we will reach our peak, and like it or hate it, the fall is inevitable. Today or tomorrow, sooner or later, it is going to happen. Your efficiency is how much period you spend here. You know, more famous people are the ones who have been at the top for a longer period, but one day you are going to fall. Big rulers, big kings, all of them have gone. One day everyone has to fall. When you fall as an organization, you will have to let go of some of the employees that you hired here, because now their salary is going to become a burden for you. You don't have that much income to pay those salaries. When you had income, you had salary to pay also, but abhi you don't have money only. Now if you tell them to go away without reason because they have given you many years, you will face this problem. We don't want this court battle. So basically VRS is a polite way of saying get lost. And get lost also because it is a classroom and it's a professional exam. Actual two words are different. VRS is basically a polite way of saying get lost. So we call our employees and make them understand, sir, we no longer need you. Please understand. We want you to go away because your salary now is a burden. And don't worry, we will not let you go away or force you to go away free of cost. We will give you a lump sum amount which we will otherwise also have to give after fighting a court case. So why waste time, energy and money in the court case? You tell me how much do you want. Take that money and then shake hands and then turn around and get lost. To avoid the court battle of retrenchment compensation, an easy way of telling your employees to get lost is VRS. Is that clear? The concept starts with the word voluntary, means whether to accept this compensation and get lost or no is a choice of the employee. But once the employee accepts this amount, who is the payer? Employer. Who is the payee? Employee. It will be taxable income under which head? Salary. And because it is going to be a big lump sum amount, like we do always, we are going to give you some exemption. Understood the meaning of VRS? Exemption here is going to be, as always, least of. And again, here there is no during service at retirement. It is always going to be a lump sum at retirement. First amount, actual receipt. Very good. Second, government employees also take VRS. No. You made up your mind to join government employment, but यहाँ पे there is nothing separate, so you changed your plan. Maximum notified over lifetime. Gratuity में 20 lakhs, leave encashment 25 lakhs, retrenchment and VRS both 5. Maximum notified over lifetime 5. Third point, I will speak in words. You will give me the mathematical representation. The third point is 3 months salary completely for each year of service. 3 months salary for each year of service, and after so many calculations, I believe you should be able to do it on yourself. Salary low, monthly. Per month salary multiply by 3 and then multiply by completed year of service. When nothing is given about part, so you will ignore 11 months also. Part will be taken only if it is, come on, more than 6 months. Wo wherever it is given. Here nothing is given, so even if it is 11 months, we are going to ignore. 3 into salary into number of years of service. Dekho, 3 is something that you have to directly take. Number of years of service they will give you in the questions. All you have to focus on is salary. And by now you know this also. Every time we write salary, pe note, what do we define in that note? Salary ka period and the component. We will write that in the note. But there's one more limit here. Hey, one more. That same salary per month which you have taken above as per note 1 into the balance months for superannuation. Salary per month into the balance months for superannuation. Ask a question, please. What do you mean by superannuation? Superannuation means the normal retiring age as per organization policy. Every organization has a policy that we will keep employees of maximum 60 years, maximum 55 years. We are a young team. We will keep employees of maximum age 40 years. Organization will have policy. My question is, let us assume that the organization ka policy is 50 years. Are you taking VRS before that time? VRS itself means retiring before the scheduled date. So you will probably be retiring at the age of what, 40, 42. As per policy, it is 50. But you are retiring at the age of 42 by taking this lump sum compensation. So how much time was remaining for your superannuation, the normal retirement? 8. So multiply by 8, 96. Because we are taking monthly salary, I hope you understand. So question will give you organization ka policy and question will give you his age at the time of retirement. You will find out how much time was remaining for normal retirement. That time has to be converted into months. Normal retirement age as per organization policy. Likha, normal retirement age as per organization policy. Bracket. Close. You close the bracket. Which will be given to you in the question, because every organization has a different policy. But in case it is not given, in case, ऐसा हो सकता है, by chance they have not given. So what do? Guess कर. If not given, then we will consider the policy as 60 years. Which central government, most state government employees के लिए the applicable rule is. So supposingly they tell you that normal retiring policy is 50 and he was 42 at the age of retirement. So फिर 8 into 12. But they just tell you he was 42 when he takes VRS without any further info. So you will take 18 into 12. You understood? His age at the time of retirement will always be given, just like number of years of service will always be given. Without certain data, we will not be able to calculate only. So whatever is necessary data will always be given to you in the question. Actual received, maximum notified 5 lakh, 3 months salary for each year of service, and that same salary into balance months for superannuation, where they will give you his age and the normal retirement policy. Have you understood the meaning of superannuation? Obviously, but the calculation of VRS will get over only after we write one by one the notes. First note, what are we doing in the first note? Defining salary. What are the two things we write? Period and components. First question, have we mentioned any other applicable law? Check VRS ka full calculation. Have we mentioned any other applicable law? No. So whatever is given here will be given as per income tax. Now, whenever income tax gives us definition, ideally they average it out, but as a matter of huge surprise, they have here given last drawn monthly salary. Surprising. Scope of manipulation. But Suno, for you as a CA student, there is good news. Because you don't have to take 10 months ka total and then average it and put extra efforts. You just have to take the last drawn monthly salary. But of course, in that last drawn monthly salary, what are the things that you are going to take? That is components. Whenever no other law is applicable, income tax will keep it simple. They will tell you to take basic plus DA in terms plus fixed percentage commission on turnover. Basic plus DA in terms plus fixed percentage commission on turnover. This is definition of salary for the purpose of calculation of VRS wala exemption. Ye clear hai? Hello? There are two more notes. Second note, very very important, 1010C is a once in a lifetime exemption. 1010C is a once in a lifetime exemption. True or false? You can't retire more than once in life. You can, but you won't get VRS from your employer. You will. You can take it, but exemption you can take only once. Second time you take VRS, take it, but we won't give you any exemption. That means wherever maximum notified is given, every time I take exemption, some amount will get reduced from that balance. But here in VRS, my maximum notified over lifetime is 5 lakh. Supposingly I retire and take exemption of 3 lakh as per whichever is lowest, the remaining 2 lakh will lapse. Q? Because second time in life I am not eligible for exemption under this section. Exemption under this section will be given only and only once. So as a retiring employee, free financial advice, make it a point that you take the exemption only if 5 lakh is lowest. Only if 5 lakh is lowest, because any other amount of exemption taken, 4 lakh taken, 3 lakh taken, whatever is the balance, it will lapse, because this exemption will not be given second time in life. You can't be saying that I am tired of working and I now want to retire, I am retiring before age so that I can take care of some unwell family members, I need to stay at home, then I again join a job and I again take VRS. VRS means as an employee, you are under, this is an undertaking that I will never work again. And work again, take VRS, but don't ask for exemption. Samjha?
He was in a private sector employee. He took VRS out, and then he again was employed in government.
How does it matter? Exemption liya? Over. Because government ka there is no separate limit given, no. Calculation is same for everyone. Clear over? And third and final note, in order to get this exemption, there are some conditions given. If you observe carefully, from gratuity till year, in no section we had this rule. In every section, the system was do the following calculation and take your exemption. Calculation and exemption. But VRS ka section is different. In VRS ka section, you have to first fulfill conditions. Once you fulfill condition, then only we go to calculation. Matlab, this exemption is not going to be available to all employees. This exemption will be available only to those employees who have fulfilled the conditions given here. In no other section we had this requirement of fulfilling certain conditions. Do you observe this? What are the conditions? Cumulative condition before you ask me. So you have to satisfy how many of them? All of them. First, the employee should have completed minimum 40 years of age or 10 years of service. The employee should have completed minimum 40 years of age or 10 years of service. ये anyone है, but then there will be condition B, C, D. So A, B, C, D are cumulative, but in condition A it is or. So anyone. समझो? So supposingly you join a job at the age of 37 and retire in 6 years. Means you've not completed 10 years. You've retired within 6 years. So condition 1 is satisfied or dissatisfied? Why? 40 years of age. Anyone we have to do. Supposingly I join at the age of 25 and retire at 37 without completing 40 years of age. Still satisfied? Because I worked for 10 years. It is 40 years of age or 10 years of service, anyone. But along with A, you have to fulfill BCDO. Samjha? So, first condition to get VRS ka exemption, minimum 40 years of age or 10 years of service. 1 minute. So, if I don't satisfy this condition, I can't retire from that organization. I can. I won't get VRS. I will. I won't get exemption. Ye samjha? Second, has the company announced a scheme that anybody interested in leaving the company take this lump sum and get lost? The scheme you should make available to all employees. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, all employees except the directors, except the management. You can't announce VRS for directors of organization. Nahi to just imagine what a big lol will take place. Board meeting is going on. All the directors are like talking to each other. What a boring life. I am cooked, bro. Blah, blah, blah. Haan. Chal, ek kaam karte. Let's do this. Let us announce a scheme for directors. That any director, which is basically you and me, can take 200 crores and exit the company. VRS. Directors announce the scheme. Take that money. Leave. Next day morning, no one in the management, shareholders are wondering now what to do with the company. And 5 directors means 1,000 crore gone. So the people who announce the scheme should not be eligible for the scheme. The scheme should not apply for the directors. Directors of any organization will be disqualified from taking the exemption. Next, the purpose of scheme is the company announcing a scheme for voluntary retirement. The purpose of that scheme should be reduction in employee strength, not just the salary expense. The purpose of the scheme should be reduction in employee strength, not the salary expense. I'll explain. You join a CA firm as an article. They will give you about 8-10,000. These days 8-10,000 has become very, very normal. We started working for articleship at 2,000 rupees per month. 8 to 10,000 very easily. Big Four, they will give you even higher amount. I am personally against Big Four, but that is your choice. Why I am against Big Four, I can have a separate session. I don't want to consume classroom time for that. There is a reason. It affects your career drastically, both knowledge wise and study wise. Okay, but choice is yours. वो choice आपका. As you progress in that organization, you become a second year article. Your stipend will increase. You are doing the same work. One fine day, your CA final ka result will come. You are that same useless human being who is sleeping in class. You are not doing anything. But suddenly, because against your name you have the 2 alphabet CA, your expectation will be very, very high. Bola, now I won't work in 20,000. Now I want 1.5 lakh per month. You are doing the same work. Yesterday when you did not clear CA and today when you have cleared CA, quality mein, quantity mein, brain mein, no change has taken place. Only the 2 alphabets have changed your expectation. And that also 1.5 lakh starting mein, couple of years later, you are still doing the same work. But now you want 2 lakh, 3 lakh. Now boss is wondering, if I remove this 2 lakh ka salary wala guy and in his place I recruit 10 more articles, it will still be lower cost. Think about it. 10 articles, 1 lakh, still 50% saving. And doing the same work. In fact, I will have more people in office. I can take up more work. You're not doing any value addition to the organization after a point. Do you understand this? So what some companies do, they ask, it is not you, general. They ask that employee to leave by taking VRS, and later what do? In that place, they appoint low salary employees again. Means we are offering VRS to a high salary employee, and then later we are recruiting in that same place low salary employee. So what are you doing? You are not reducing your number of employees, you are only reducing your salary expenditure. That should not be the case, and this point is reconfirmed in the next point, which says the place vacated by the retiring employee should not be filled. The place vacated by the retiring employee should not be filled. Means you are removing high salary wala employees, and in that place you are recruiting new low salary wala employees. So you are not meeting the purpose. The purpose should be reduction of number of employees. Mathematically, number of employees after VRS should be lower than number of employees before VRS. You should not appoint more people in that same place, same position. If that is the case, exemption will be lost. While understanding this condition is very, very easy, you've understood it. There is some big, major, massive technical, logical defect here. This is rubbish, disgusting, nonsense, bakwas, vaya, stupid, illogical. This is nonsense at a highest level. Now, normal batches where I go and tell students that if you identify what is illogical here, I start giving some offers. But every time I deal with an intelligent audience, I am, thinking two minds whether I should give that offer or not to give that offer. So, nothing specified. So, forever is something. Now, what is illogical, I want you to point. I was going to give that offer, but he interrupted in between. So, no offer. Abhi aise. Offer चाहिए. I'll see if I have something in my bag. कोई है इधर? कौन है? मिताज. एक सेकेंड. Okay. बैग में तो चॉकलेट तो नहीं, प्रोटीन बार चले. That also I will have to see if I. Okay, ठीक है. Whatever chocolate you like, but provided you give the correct answer. हाँ, बोल मिताज. I can't have eye contact with you, पर अभी बोल.
First time आपने बताया कि सिर्फ salary नहीं but number of employees ही आप number of employees ही कम करेंगे. हाँ. मतलब आप नए employees 10 के जगह 5 ले रहे हो और salary भी कम, मतलब फिर आप employees.
That is not illogical. My idea is, this is rubbish. This is nonsense. Why is this nonsense? See, as an employer, I am reducing my salary cost. You can't call that nonsense. I am thinking of business sense. No, reduce cost means increase profits. Nonsense is from tax POV, is what you will have to identify.
What's your employees PRS? उसके बाद he is vacating a particular position. Now let's say और 10 आपके employees after the age of 40 or 10 years of service, they might be getting VRS.
That they won't avail VRS. Only when company comes up and announces a scheme, तभी होगा. Otherwise, it won't happen. No, please. हाँ बोल. नहीं, someone else. हाँ. Louder, please. For the income taxable for income tax department. हाँ. What is illogical in this? There are no. नहीं. नहीं. So what is illogical in this? Just imagine. कौन सा चॉकलेट चाहिए बोल? कौन सा चॉकलेट? अरे इसमें what is funny in this? He answered it correctly. कोई भी चलेगा. देख मारवाड़ी के साथ में you are dealing perfect. अपना ही फेवरेट बोल दे, even if it is an expensive one. सिल्क ओरियो. Done है. Done. I am a man of commitment. बोला है तो हो. What's your name? ये कितने हर्ट से रहे तुम? क्या लॉट में आए थे क्या? तीसरा या चौथा है मेरे पास. वो भी बाजू में. तू क्या हंस रहा है? वंश भी लॉट में. Okay, wait. Listen. For those who did not listen to what he said, I am the retiring employee. I am vacating the organization, and I am getting VRS. I will take exemption. Correct? Exemption is being given to employee, and condition has to be fulfilled by employer. Just imagine, you employer, me employee. You employer, me employee. Hi employer. Bolo hi employee. Hi employer. I am leaving. Bye. But after I leave, do not appoint anybody else in my place. Because if you appoint anybody else in my place, I will lose. You know what the employer will say? Soon, just to let you know, ek to you are going. And second, when you were there also, I was the employer. So you just turn around. Huh? Who the hell are you to decide whether your former employer will appoint new people in your place? You're going, no? Go. You cannot control that decision. But unfortunately, if your former employer appoints someone in your place, you are going to lose exemption. आप समझा क्या? Everyone. So the stupidity is the person eligible for exemption is different from the person required to fulfill the condition. Yes, stupidity. If I have to get exemption, put the condition on me. No. How can you put a condition on my former employer? Don't appoint. They will appoint if they want. Understood what is illogical here? Huh, but last point is under employee's control. So at least that so you as an employee can fulfill, you should fulfill. Last condition. मेरे को लग रहा है today nobody is cooperating. अभी what? Last and final condition. The retiring employee. So this is on the employee. The retiring employee should not join any other employment under the same management. The retiring employee should not join any other employment under the same management. Just imagine you're taking VRS from Reliance Industries Limited. So you should not go to office from next day. No? Next day you're still going and working in the same office, same job, same task, same salary. You are now getting money from Reliance G. Job is same, boss is same, decisions are same. Only your name is struck off from the employee role of one company and put in another company. Everything else is same. That means you are only on paper taking VRS. In reality, you haven't. If you take up any other job under the same management, you will be disqualified from exemption. All throughout, I hope you are clear. We are not prohibiting you from joining any job. You can, but you won't be eligible for exemption. That was your calculation of VRS, that is section 10(10)(c). Let's go ahead. Let's complete the question of VRS. Question number 38 on again page number 66. Please read the question.
John is employed in a private company and is paid a sum of 6 lakh on VRS from service. The normal age of retirement in the company is 60, and John, who was 45 at the time of retirement, had completed 20 years of service. His monthly salary at the time of retirement was as follows: basic pay 1 lakh, DA 50% includable for pension 60,000.
Means how much is DA in terms? 30,000. 50% will be included. Okay. Then
HRA 30,000, conveyance allowance 8,000. What is the amount of compensation taxable under the Act?
see, the question is on VRS, that is clearly visible, that we can identify. But then observe one more thing, that all the questions that we have done so far, they asked us to calculate the amount of exemption. For a change, this time they are asking us to calculate the amount which is taxable, and it makes a difference in our presentation more than anything else. So what or how is our presentation going to change? They are asking you to do computation of, this time not the exemption but the taxable VRS compensation. And how do we find out taxable under any monetary benefit received? We have to always take the amount received, which is always going to be given to us, rupees 6 lakhs, from which we will take our exemption minus the amount which is exempt under section 10(10)(c), which obviously will be our working note and after taking this exemption we will get our taxable amount. Till now the exemption calculation was our main question, but now our exemption calculation will become our working note, because the main question is not exemption, the main question is calculate the amount which is, come on, calculate the amount which is taxable. So working note 1, exemption under section 10(c), which is going to be least of, it all depends on whether you remember the amounts or not. First, actual is how much? 6 lakh. Second, maximum notified over lifetime. Third, 3 months salary for each year of service. Correct hai? So what is the salary given to us? We will take basic salary of 1 lakh at the time of retirement wala. We will take DA in terms, and I think there is no data given about percentage commission. How many years he has worked? 20 years. So 3 months salary for each year of service. That's 3 into 1,30,000 into 20. 78 lakhs. कैलकुलेटर का रेंट पे किया तो कैलकुलेट भी करना हो. लास्ट वाला अमाउंट भी बोलूं? नहीं. 3 months salary for each year of service, everyone. And last, that same salary into balance months for superannuation. What is the salary that we are considering for this calculation? 1,30,000. Now tell me, what was his age when he retired? 45, which will always be given. What is company retirement policy? 60. And by chance, if that is not given, we still take 60. So how much period was remaining for normal retirement? 15 years. So multiply by 15. No, we have to multiply by 15 and then also take 12 months because we have to take in months. Correct hai? तुम कर लो. I know the final answer. This is 2 crore 34 lakh and answer will be 5 lakh.
Practically, point C and greater than A and B.
Practically, point B will be lowest of the 4. And while doing the exemption itself, I told you also that any unutilized balance from 4 lakh year will lapse because this is once in a lifetime. And which is why as an employee, make sure that every time you are getting VRS ka exemption, which is the only time in your life, you please make sure that you are able to utilize the entire amount of 5 lakh, because anything unutilized will lapse. No, VRS you can get, exemption you will not get. Correct hai? That's your section 10(c). VRS. Next, section 10(c). Tax paid by employer on non-monetary perquisites. Exemption, very good question. अच्छा, by the way, you have to just complete this. हाँ, तो क्या ये मतलब you can't do this much? खाना खुद खाता है, घर पे कोई खिलाता? लिख दिया ना. तो this is something that you could have done, no? आपने खुद ने इमेज क्रिएट किया है. We are intelligent people, we remember things after 4 months and then you can't do this much. 5 lakh, whichever is lowest will be exempt, balance will be taxable. ये done है. This is a very good question. Unlike the regular culp that we know, this is a very, very good. मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा. This is an excellent question. Don't you think you should have asked, sir, right now I have as an employee taken the exemption. Now the employer should not recruit anybody in my place. If next year, 2 years later, he recruits. First of all, it is violation of condition, which is illogical. Employer has to fulfill condition. But then what about the exemption that I have already taken? This will, you understand the question here? The exemption lene ke baad, if a couple of years later, if he recruits someone, it becomes dissatisfaction of conditions. Now this, for this, we will have to go to CA final ka direct tax. After that also 50% of the syllabus is over in final CA. You learn a concept called reassessment of cases. Whenever there is income escaping assessment, that means you have underpaid your taxes. How can you underpay your taxes? By declaring less income. You are taking more exemption or deduction, or showing the wrong rate of tax. For example, you have casual winnings, you should pay tax at 30%. You showed it as normal amount. Amount का difference नहीं था. but you showed wrong rate of tax. If there is ever any kind of underpayment of taxes, you will get a notice of reopening, and the income that has escaped assessment will be recalculated, and on that amount you will have to pay tax. You will be made to pay tax. Reopening के लिए there is a time limit given. There are two time limits. Normal cases में 3 years का time limit after assessment year है, and if your income escaping assessment is exceeding a certain threshold, a certain level, so 5 years तक they can reopen cases after assessment year. मतलब CPY, then AY, then after that 5 years. If once this period passes, thereafter your past cases cannot be reopened. If you get a notice, tell your assessing officer, because his time limit to send that notice has expired. So the maximum period that you are at risk is that time limit which is given. There is a section 149 in income tax. Don't go and do any kind of research on this section. I'll tell you multiple reasons. One, it's not in your syllabus. Two, it won't be in your syllabus of CA final also, because in final you will be learning new income tax act. When I resumed, I told you very clearly on the first day itself that I am getting paid to teach you outdated stuff. New income tax act is already enacted, but it will apply from May 27. Now what do you want to do? Sir, direct naya hi karna hai. I will change my attempt by 1 year. It's better that you are probably that only fortunate person who gets to learn old as well as new income tax act. Next year ka batch, you will have more knowledge. That is, if you need knowledge ko respect nahi hai, then you won't understand the importance of this. You will understand new income tax act better because this appears to be more complicated, the old one. Family tree. समझा क्या? हाँ, तो ladies and gentlemen, in that reopening, section number will change, time limit will change, but concept you have understood. If there is income escaping assessment, your past cases will be reopened. Clear हुआ? Excellent question. Section 1010 double C. Tax paid by employer on non-monetary perquisites provided to employee directly to government will be fully exempt. Tax paid by employer on non-monetary perquisites provided to the employee directly to the government will be exempt. Tax paid by employer on non-monetary perquisites provided to the employee directly to the government will be exempt. नहीं? Okay. अगर आपके बॉस ने आपके नॉन मॉनेटरी परक्विजिट्स का टैक्स डायरेक्टली गवर्नमेंट को पे किया तो वो एग्जेम्प्ट है. नाउ नो, स्टिल नो. તમારા સેટ है તમારા નોન મોનેટરી પરક્વિजिट નો ટેક્સ ડાયરેક્ટલી ગવર્નમેન્ટ ને આપી દીધો તો તમારા માટે એક્ઝેમ્પ્ટ. स्टिल नो. तुमच्या एम्प्लॉयरनी तुमच्या नॉन मॉनेटरी परक्विजिट चा टॅक्स डायरेक्टली गव्हर्नमेंटला दिला तर तुम्हाला टॅक्स नाही लागला. स्टिल नो. It's my mother tongue, but I am very funny when I आपरो हेट आपरा नॉन मॉनेटरी परक्विजिट टैक्स डायरेक्टली गवर्नमेंट ने दीदो तो आपरा ऊपर टैक्स नहीं लगा. Now you have understood. I have translated in multiple languages. Clear? Shall I go to the next section? नहीं? Still not understood? Malayalam I know, but only korcha korcha. Little. To adjust for audiences, I do everything. So when I used to teach Malayalam audience, I used to speak. You are explaining this. Then let me explain this because we are in the middle of something. I'll take your doubt later. I'll take it. Okay? Focus karo please. Translating in multiple languages is not going to solve your problem. Obviously, translation is not teaching. At the end of the day, we need to understand the logic, the concept. And so please understand. Supposingly your employer is paying you your primary thing, the main thing, salary. Stupid question. Is this salary taxable? Yes. We started the chapter when we studied point 8 of the introduction and laid down the roadmap. We were told over and above salary, every employer will give me two things. Allowances and perquisites. Hello. Are both of them taxable? Allowances में we will take exempt and the balance will be taxable, and perquisite में the value of the taxable amount will directly be written in the outer column. That means are both of them taxable. But here is where the problem arises. Boss is giving 1 lakh ka salary. You are happy, but pay tax. Then boss gave you 30,000 ka house rent allowance. You are very happy, but that 30,000 is also taxable. So you again go to your employer and tell him, sir, you are great, sir. आप महान हो, आप तो पुरुष ही नहीं हो, महापुरुष. You are great, sir. You are giving me 1 lakh का salary. You are giving me 30,000 का HRA. But problem is, sir, 30,000 का HRA is taxable. अब HRA is coming, but I have to pay rent. So I am left with no money to pay tax. Sir, what to do? Employer is like, le bhikari, I am giving you some extra money. He is giving you extra 10,000. For what? To pay that tax. Boss is giving you money to pay tax. Do you understand? 10,000. So suno, 1 lakh he is giving salary, 30 he is giving allowance, and 10,000 he is giving to pay tax. But bad news, yeah. Because the cash received by you is 1 lakh 40. So the 10,000 which you have received, for what purpose? For paying tax, is also cash at your disposal. You can do whatever you want with that cash. And thus we will tax that 10,000 as well. Your taxable salary will now become 1 lakh 40,000. How? 1 lakh 30 and 10. That means is allowance taxable. And is money received to pay tax also taxable. That means till now everything is taxable, and sir, you are teaching us exempt income. Now will come that exempt one part. Your boss gave you 1 lakh ka salary, and he gave you a house to live. House matlab non-monetary, no perquisite. Is 1 lakh taxable in the outer column, and the value of that house is that taxable that will go in the outer column. Here is the problem. The cash that I have, cash in hand, is only 1 lakh. Why? Because monetary may I have received only cash. House I have received in kind, but that house ka value will increase my tax liability, and that tax also has to be paid from, come on, 1 lakh ka salary. Just understand this much. This tax I have to pay from this money, and this tax I have to pay from this money, because the house I have received in kind. So house ka monetary valuation we will do, but tax will be paid from my salary only. That's becoming a little unfortunate. I approach my employer and make my employer understand, sir, you are giving me a perquisite, but that perquisite for me is taxable, and then that tax I have to pay from my pocket. So that will rather result in monetary loss. While I agree I am getting a house to live, but monetary loss hoga because I have to pay tax. So this time what the boss is saying, see, last time he gave you money to pay tax. The moment money comes in your hand, it will become taxable. Listen to this, because otherwise it is confusing. This time your employer is telling you, I have given you the benefit in kind, so you don't expect more monetary benefit from me, but I can do this one thing for you. Out of the total tax that you are supposed to pay, total tax will be calculated on this plus this. Whatever is the proportionate tax of your perquisite, how will we find out? Total tax on 1 lakh plus this perquisite ka value is the total amount into perquisite value upon the total amount, proportionate amount. That much tax, the tax on this perquisite amount will be directly borne by me, directly paid to government by the employer. So whenever you pay your total tax, you pay this much less. Q? A portion of your tax is being borne by your employer. He is not willing to give you cash in hand. He is ready to pay that much amount to the government. Understand the calculation. This is slightly confusing, understand. My total tax liability will be on this plus this. You split that total tax into two parts proportionately. The tax of this amount and the tax of this amount. This amount ka tax, employer is ready to pay to the government. Or let me reframe the statement by saying, your employer has undertaken to provide you tax-free perquisite. How tax-free? Because ye perquisite ka whatever tax will also come, that I will pay. So you will be focused on paying only the salary cut. My question is, if your employer is providing you a tax-free perquisite because that much portion he is paying to the government, is that a benefit that you are getting? How do you say it's a benefit? You will have to tell me, how is it a benefit? Because that much tax, you have to pay less. This benefit is going to be exempt. Matlab suno, the perquisite that you are getting is taxable. That tax will be calculated, but that proportionate tax will be borne by the employer. It is also a benefit. Perquisite is a benefit. Perquisite ka tax is also a benefit. But that tax which your employer is paying which you have to pay less that much, that amount is exempt. Only those students will understand this who first understand that perquisite is a benefit which is different from the tax on perquisite which employer is paying. Is the perquisite ka value taxable? Then what is exempt? The tax that he is bearing, so that I have to pay that much less. Oh, translators, now read this. Now read what is the heading of section 10.10. What is exempt? The tax amount. So be clear. Is allowance taxable? Yes. Is perquisite, the non-monetary benefit, taxable? Yes. If he gives you money to pay tax, is that also taxable? So what is the only thing that is exempt? That tax which he is directly paying to the government, that money is not coming under your control, and that much is exempt. But the question is, sir, usme what is the benefit that I am getting? I am not getting anything. Am I getting some benefit? Yes, I am. Because whatever he is paying, that much I have to pay less. That benefit is exempt. That will reduce my tax payable towards the government. Because a portion of my tax payable has been paid by my employer. So I have to pay that much less, no? Hello? That is the benefit. Khali haath hi dikh raha hai. Loudly, please.
Can you give an example in numbers?
वैसे तो questions we will be doing, but supposingly your salary is, we will have to calculate annual tax. So supposingly your salary is 12 lakh and your perquisite ka value is 6 lakh. So first of all, what is the total amount taxable? And we are that also, this is an error if we take 18 lakh as the taxable entity. I will tell you the reason. Because entity I will have other heads of income. In fact, salary ka bhi there will be deduction, no standard deduction based on old regime, can new regime. But we are assuming that these two are the components. Only to keep it a simple example. 18 lakh ke upar, what will we do? Calculate tax. So first question is 6 lakh ka perquisite taxable? Yes, because that I have included. Calculate 18 lakh ka tax. Abhi isme, again the difficulty is that we have not done details of tax calculation, slab rates. We don't know what is surcharge, what is cess, what is anything. तो क्या करें? Let us take an example without actual calculation. फिर ये example आप कहीं पर भी don't take it down. It is only for explanation. Because क्या होगा? This example is wrong numbers. 18 lakh can't be NTTI. We have to give salary का standard deduction, professional tax, all that. Okay? Other heads of income will also come. And tax calculation also I am not doing officially. ऐसे random number I am taking. Supposingly 2 lakh का tax is coming on total income of 18 lakh. So how am I going to split this 2 lakh? 2 lakh into 12 by 18 and 2 lakh into 6 by 18. Is this 2 lakh the total tax liability of the employee? But this portion will be paid by employer. Whatever you're getting, I think getting what 66,667 is being paid by your employer. Tell me one thing. Do I now have to pay this much less? Yes, because I will pay only this much. Why? Because my employer has undertaken to pay this portion of my tax. Is that a benefit? Am I saving some tax liability? That saving is not taxable because the money is not coming in my hands. Matlab 6 lakh is taxable, but 6 lakh ka tax which employer is paying, that is exempt. समझा? जबरदस्ती का वर्कआउट. हाँ, you प्रियांशी कोई डाउट था ना? In all the other sections क्या आ गया? I did not. Employer has undertaken. I will explain the reason. You now देखो इसके लिए फिर अभी छोटा स्टोरी बोलना पड़ेगा to make you understand why employers give tax benefits, tax-free tax benefits. Supposingly there is some foreign delegation, and your employer का you are the most trustworthy person. Japanese delegation है. Your employer tells you that take them to the best Japanese restaurant of the city. हाँ sushi. Sushi Japanese है. पता मैं तो बहुत बार स्टिक से ट्राई किया, बाद में नहीं जमा तो आई हैव दाल बाटी का हैबिट तो ऐसे ही. आई सीरियसली आई कुड नॉट मैनेज. तो do what you want to, but this contract our company should get. So you take them to a Japanese restaurant, you order food, you tell them to eat. Up they are your guest, but courtesy the guest will also tell you that you also share with me, no? Though you are the host. Just imagine guests sitting and eating alone. at the restaurant and you are only watching him eat. कि Japanese are very disciplined, कैसे खाते हो? नहीं, you are refusing to eat. You know why? If I eat, this will be my taxable perquisite because boss is paying. Non-monetary benefit. If I eat, it is taxable. So in front of clients, you are saying no. If I eat food, it will be income tax. So contract is gone. The boss is telling you that don't worry about the tax, I will bear. Bosses have to undertake to bear your tax liability once in a while. अब आप समझा? What is your benefit? This much tax you don't have to pay. Why you don't have to pay? Because your boss has paid, and that is your exemption. Is that clearly understood by everyone? हाँ जी. क्यों? What is TCS? आप GST का TCS बोल रहे हो कि इनकम टैक्स का TCS? इनकम टैक्स में व्हाट इज दिस एंड हैव आई टॉट आप दो जगह पे क्लास अटेंड करते हैं. ज्वेलरी बिजनेस है तो मेटल बिजनेस, कौन सा बिजनेस? आपका कोई बिजनेस नहीं है, यू आर अंडर ग्रेजुएट, यू जस्ट गिव कॉलेज एग्जाम एंड केम. तो व्हाई आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट थिंग्स दैट वी हैव नॉट डिस्कस्ड? टीसीएस में व्हेन आई एम सेलिंग गुड्स टू समवन, फॉर एग्जांपल योर फेवरेट प्रोडक्ट अल्कोहलिक लिकर फॉर ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन, सो व्हेन दैट प्रोडक्ट इज सोल्ड द शॉपकीपर विल टेक या द होलसेलर विल टेक फ्रॉम द रिटेलर सम परचेस का मनी. नो, for wholesaler it is sales, for retailer it is purchase. उसके साथ he will give some extra amount. Here it is not that, it is as employer employee, it is that TCS comes on sales in course of business. Okay, so unwanted trouble why you are giving to your brain. One fine day TDS TCS also will be discussed with you. In fact, that is probably going to be, you know, last 2-3 lectures of our syllabus. All right, everyone is clear about section 10 fair enough. Next we have finally 10 से we are moving ahead. हे भगवान, 10 A finally. And good thing is 10 11 and 10 12 are discussed together, where there is a concept called provident funds. Section when I am tired. Section 10 11 and 10 12 provident funds. At least understand the meaning, because again an enthusiastic kid of your class has already once come and asked me, sir, what is tax treatment of provident funds? मैं बोला रुको जरा सबर करो, and here is the tax treatment. What do you mean by first of all provident fund? In India there is a law called EPF, Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act. What exactly is provident fund? Understand with the help of a small example. Meaning करके I will give you the break. Tax treatment is very big. We'll do it after the break. Provided you behave yourself. Keep your mouth shut. नहीं तो no break. Employers will primarily give you salary. Supposingly your salary is, for the sake of convenience, I am taking a small amount, 50,000. Is that 50,000 your current income? You don't need that much amount for your day-to-day expenses. And therefore you want to make some investment to safeguard your future, because one day we all have to retire, and after retirement we need funds. We don't want to depend on our descendants, our kids. We want our own money. Human nature. So what you do is, right now if you let this 50,000 remain in your bank account, it is not going to help you. To safeguard your future, a small portion from this 50,000, which is an example, you contribute to a special account called your provident fund account. It is like a separate bank account. I have kept it separately. I will keep on accumulating some money during my work life, so that one day when I retire, I will get a big lump sum amount. Kaise? 5,000 I am putting per month. 50,000 is my monthly salary. So annually I will put 60,000, and over the years compound okay, it is going to be a big massive figure. 15 years from today, when this provident fund ka money will mature, I will have a massive lump sum figure which can take care of my retirement. वैसे provident fund is an investment, and here we are not there to give investment advice. There is no financial management का class is not going on. That equity is better or mutual fund is better, कि gold is better. Gold is तो better only. तो stock, gold has become stock market. My friends in gold business, every hour their net worth is increasing. Gold business undergraduate है bro, कोई business नहीं. If you don't have any qualification, घर वाले निकाल देंगे. You make yourself so capable that they are requesting you that please come and join us. उसके लिए you focus here. तो सुनो, what investment to make I am not going to teach you. Silver is also in a race with gold right now. Make your investment wherever you want. Our job is to learn tax treatment of every investment. provident fund is just one of the investments which you make for safeguarding your future. You can make equity investment, you can make mutual fund investment. Tax treatment of everything is different. Right now our focus is provident fund. Out of my monthly income of 50,000, I have safeguarded as an investment 5,000 in a separate bank. When the employer saw this, he had tears in his eyes. He's like, so much respect for you that you are safeguarding basically 10% of your income to safeguard your future. So employer, from his funds, extra amount, he is contributing 8,000 per month. All these are monthly figures. Obviously, we will calculate total income for the year, but for example purposes, monthly figure. And I'll tell you what. This means in the PF account, every month we are accumulating 13,000. Understand how? 50,000 is, can I call this employee contribution? And 8,000, 5,000 is employee contribution and 8,000 is employer contribution. This 8,000 is over and above the salary that he is giving you. So please understand, employer ka pocket outflow is 50 plus 8, 50 plus 8. 50 he is giving you in cash and 8 he is contributing in your fund. And by the way, no employer in real life has tears in his eyes or emotional attachment towards the employees. India में law है Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, on the basis of which employees have to mandatorily transfer a portion of your salary over and above your salary in that PF account. So yeah, your employer is giving you for that reason. What is the employer ka outflow? 58. 50 and 8 is separate. That is why I'm calling it employer contribution. How much you have received in cash salary? 50. But then you will now be left with only 45 for your day-to-day work. Why? You have invested 5,000. Means in your fund every month, how much is getting accumulated? 13,000 ho gaya, 5,000 employee contribution and 8,000 employer contribution. How do they give this practical effect? Practically, it does not work like what we have done. Practically, employer will give the employee 45,000 and contribute in the PF account 13,000, which does not mean employer contribution is 13. Hello, it is still 8 plus 5. Your employer is telling you, I will give you 50, and then from that you are going to contribute 5. No, so on your behalf, I will contribute 5 by adjusting from your salary. You need to understand that the first part and the second part are absolutely same. It is still employer contribution of 8,000 and employee contribution of 5,000. Even if money is put by the employer, but is deducting from mine. The final question: what is the monthly salary that we will take? It is still 50. Because from received amount, whatever you invest, that is your problem. Ye clear hai? 8,000 is over and above that 50. So we have to learn tax treatment of what is 5,000 ka tax treatment. When I say what is 5,000 ka tax treatment, means can I say I have to teach you tax treatment of employee contribution? Then I have to teach you tax treatment of 8,000 because this is extra money which my boss is giving me. Then at the end of the year, the balance in the PF account will magically increase. Guess how? Because the fund will credit some interest in my account. So what is the tax treatment of that interest? And then one fine day, after 15 years ka maturity, and just imagine how big that amount will be. Every month 8 plus 5, employer and employee. So monthly contribution 13. Yearly contribution 13 into 12. Plus interest and plus that total amount compounded over a period of 15 years. Do you understand what a big sum it will be? That big amount of lump sum that you receive at the time of maturity, what is the tax treatment? PF ka concept requires us to learn tax treatment of 4 things. What 4 things? Employee contribution. In our example, that is 5,000. Employer contribution 8,000. Interest that will be credited in the fund and lump sum that we receive maturity pay. All the other things will happen during the course of the fund and lump sum will happen at the time of maturity. 4 things ka tax treatment if we study, so provident fund ka concept will get over. So that way your argument can be, sir, 4 things, so it should get over fast. Problem is, India mein there are different types of provident funds and these 4 things will come in all those provident funds. So we have to learn 4 amounts ka contribution in 4 types of provident fund. Big chart coming your way. After a break of 10 minutes, please be in your seats with your mouth shut within 10 minutes. Provident funds in our country will be of 4 types. We will be making 4 columns to learn tax treatment of every provident fund in our country. Particular column has to be very, very small because I hope you, break ke baad mein once kya food goes in, data goes out. So let me remind you, there is employer contribution in this fund. In our example, that was how much? 8,000. There is employee contribution in this fund. In our example, that is 5,000. Year end pay, there will be interest that will be credited, and at the time of maturity, there will be a massive lump sum that you will receive. Hello. So we have to learn tax treatment of all these four amounts. But the point is that we have to learn this tax treatment for four types of provident funds which exist in our country. So first, let me show you what are those four columns. So then you adequately decide how much space you require. First provident fund is statutory provident fund, that is SPF, which is a provident fund exclusively created for government employees. So how many columns we are going to have for provident funds? Kitna type ka provident fund we have in our country? You want to guess out of the four types of provident fund, highest tax benefit is in which column? Statutory provident fund. Highest tax benefit. Statutory provident fund, because government employees ka fund. Correct? Hai? Highest, goes without saying. But those who are in private sector, obviously, private sector employees will not be able to utilize the benefit of SPF. If you are a private sector employee, there will be two types of provident fund. First, recognized provident fund, which in the market is known by the name of RPF. Sir, what do you mean by recognized? In India, there is a law called Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act. If your fund is operating under that law, if your fund has government recognition, it is complying with all the rules and regulations, then your fund will be called recognized provident fund. Alternatively, there is another type of possible fund, which is unrecognized provident fund, URPF. There will be some funds that will not comply with EPF Act, that will not comply with rules and regulations and conditions. That means government will not recognize those funds. They will be known as unrecognized provident fund. So provident funds will be of two types, that is recognized provident fund and unrecognized provident fund. And finally, we have the last and final provident fund, that is public provident fund, PPF. Simple question. Supposingly you are not anybody's employee. I am not anybody's employee. I don't work on salary basis with any of the organizations that I work for. But then do I have the right to secure my future, my family ka future? Na bol. Do I have the right? I can't contribute in SPF because I am not a government employee. I can't contribute in RPF or URPF because I am not even a private sector employee. I am an independent professional providing professional services to lot of organizations. So can I contribute in provident fund? For me, people like me who are not anybody's employees, supposingly you are a business person, businessman, businesswoman, you can't be contributing in employees wala provident fund. So for you guys, for us, there is a separate provident fund called PPF. This is for those who are not anybody's employee, non-employees. So government employees ke liye which provident fund we have in our country? SPF. Once again, do you want to guess out of the four columns, highest tax benefit will come in which column? SPF. Whatever tax benefit is given in SPF ka column, if you are jealous of that column, you go to the last column, PPF. Hear me out. Every tax benefit which is given in this column will also be available in this column, except one thing. In this last column, there will be no employer contribution. Why there will be no employer contribution? Because there is no employer. You are not anybody's employee. This is for those who are not employed anywhere. So ladies and gentlemen, in the particulars column, we will write the four types of contributions about which we have to learn the tax treatment. What are the four types of contributions about which we have to learn the tax treatment? Employee contribution. I was getting 50,000 ka salary. From that 50, I have contributed 5,000. What is the tax treatment? Second, employer contribution. Is my employer giving me 8,000 over and above my salary? Extra payment in my fund? What is tax treatment of that employer contribution? Third, tax treatment of interest. At the end of the year, the fund will credit interest in my account. And fourth, lump sum on maturity. This is what we will do one by one. Employee contribution, employer contribution, interest and maturity. Four contributions. Suno, A, B, C, D. employee employer interest maturity, employee employer interest maturity. You remember the concept of provident fund here? And the four things ka tax treatment for all the four funds. So total 16 things ka tax treatment we have to learn one by one at a time. You can't be doing everything together. So first, employee contribution. In our example, that is 5,000 employee contribution. But wait, I can't write employee contribution and leave this, because if I write employee contribution, then last column it will be not applicable because they are non-employees. So it's a better, I will say self or own contribution, because if I write self contribution or own contribution, it can apply to all the columns. Does that make sense to you? Salaried employees will contribute this money from their salary income, but non-salaried employees will non-salaried people will contribute it from their business income, rental income, any other income. Are you safeguarding the future of your family by contributing money in provident fund? We desire to give you tax benefit for the same, and that tax benefit will be in the form of 80C deduction, which is a concept in the chapter deductions under chapter 6A. Deductions under chapter 6A are given from your gross total income. But when we give you that deduction, are we reducing your taxable amount? So is that a tax benefit? We will give you that tax benefit because we want to encourage you to contribute money in provident funds and safeguard the future of your family. You will get deduction, that is tax benefit, under a section 80C. Chapter 6A, you forgotten this? We've discussed chapter 6A after GTL. I will show you the exam presentation of this amount in the notes. First note mein, I am teaching you employee contribution ka tax benefit. Employee contribution. Tell me one thing. How much is the salary of this employee? So suno, in income from salary, I will write in the outer column full 50,000. It is not an exemption. It is a deduction. What have I done with 5,000 from 50? Contributed it in a fund. And are they encouraging me by giving deduction? But the deduction is chapter 6A ka deduction, not against a particular head of income. So in the head of income, the entire amount of 50,000 will come in the outer column. In fact, will I have some other incomes as well? Can I have some house property, some interest, etc.? What is this total called when I add all my incomes? Gross total income. After arriving at my gross total income, I am going to be taking deductions. Deductions mein there is a section 80C, and in that section 80C, I will subtract 5,000 because I am eligible for the deduction for contributing in SPF. So as a government employee, if from your salary you make any contribution, so end of the year when you calculate your total income, from that total subtract that contribution. We want to encourage this saving for your future. We are giving you the benefit, not in the form of exemption, but in the form of deduction. Does that make sense? Everyone? So employee contribution ka tax treatment in SPF is what? Deduction. Every tax benefit which is given in the first column is also given in the last column. Every benefit is given. For private sector, the best investment is PPF tax perspective. So no, return on investment perspective, you go for equity. Equity is better than anything. In a few months, it can double your money, but it can make it zero also. Tax perspective, best investment for private sector is PPF, because every tax benefit of government employees also is given. Clear hai? Everyone? But the only catch or change is the private sector wala non-employed people will not be contributing from this 50. They must be having some other incomes. They will be having PGBP. They will be having interest. They will be having capital gains. They will be having any IFOS. From that money they will contribute. So end of the day, whether you use this money or this money, this money or this money for making the investment, we will give you the deduction of whatever is the actual amount of contribution. So is SPF wala fund eligible for 80C ka deduction? And so is PPF. Now let's talk about private sector का employees, where there will be two types of funds. Recognized matlab we have government approval, and unrecognized matlab we don't have approval. One of these funds will be eligible for ATC deduction, other will not be eligible. No points for guessing. Which one do you think is eligible? Recognized, and which means unrecognized में we won't be getting the deduction. Unrecognized में we won't be getting the deduction. मतलब listen. First we have to write our entire amount in the outer column, take it in the total. Whether your fund is SPF, PPF, RPF or URPF, everything will come in the outer column. It is not an exemption, it is a deduction. Once you have written your total in the outer column, then you are going to go here and take the deduction. This deduction will be allowed if your fund is SPF. This deduction will be allowed if your fund is RPF. This deduction will be allowed if your fund is PPF. The only fund in which this deduction is not allowed is URPF. मतलब URPF में, may I put it this way, 50,000 entirely will come in the total column because you are ineligible, disqualified from deduction. So whenever you contribute any money in your provident fund, you are going to be eligible for tax benefit in the form of deduction, except if the fund is unrecognized provident fund. Tax treatment of 5,000 in our example is clear. Employees contribution. What is the tax benefit given by income tax law? You will be eligible for 80C deduction, except unrecognized. Are you understanding what is happening? That's the first amount. Like this, we have to study tax benefit of, come on, 4 amounts total. Which are the other 3? Employer contribution, interest and maturity. Second, employer contribution. How much is that contribution in our example? 8,000. Is that over and above the salary that I am getting? Let me start with the easiest of all. PPF में not applicable. PPF not applicable because PPF exists for people who are not anybody's employee. So PPF के case में it is going to be, come on, not applicable. Everyone agrees with that. But in the other 3 cases, will we have that 8,000 which my employer is contributing over and above the salary that he is giving? So understand, employer and employee both perspective. Employer is giving 50 plus 8. Employee is getting 50 cash and 8 in the fund. Is this 8,000 extra benefit? But you are government employee. So this 8,000. Government employee. Maja. PPF में there is no employer only, no, so amount only cannot come. PPF में there is no employer, so there cannot be any amount only. Correct है? अभी सुनो. I am now teaching you presentation of employer contribution. First of all, employer contribution will exist only for 3 funds. Whatever is the salary that I have received, that so I have to fully write in the outer column. Even if I have contributed some amount from this, it won't be an exemption. Last में total में we will subtract that deduction. Is my employer giving me some contribution in my provident fund account? How much is that amount in my example? 8,000. Is that over and above the 50? So will I write this 8,000 here in the inner column? Hello? If it is SPF, so this 8,000 will be fully exempt. So I will subtract here only this 8,000 and outer column is 0. Because government employees take birth maja. Fully exempt. Presentation is understood? Do you understand further presentation? That now I will take total 50 and that from that 50 I will further subtract 5,000 in the form of deduction, because that is also separate tax benefit, no? Means own contribution ka they are giving you deduction and employer contribution ka they are giving you exemption. Understood? We are not done. We are done only with 2 columns. Bro, पूरा खत्म होने के बाद फोटो ले. पीछे को bro है. every word I am writing, you are taking photos. Chart to hone de. Okay. We are done only with 2 columns. We are still required to study tax treatment of private sector employees, recognized and unrecognized. Tell me one thing. Out of these 2 funds, hello, out of these 2 funds, who has put efforts in getting recognition from government? Recognized wala guys. So should they get some tax benefit? Yes, the recognized wala column is eligible for tax benefit, but it can't be same as government employees. So we will give you partial exemption, and that partial exemption is this. This will be exempt up to 12% of your salary. Fully exempt nahi hai. Exemption ka threshold, exemption ka cap is 12% of salary. Can you get more than this? Yes, but exemption will be maximum 12%. And so no, like an idiot, don't apply 12% of 8,000. It is not 12% of actual contribution. It is 12% of salary, where salary ka definition will cover basic plus DA in terms plus fixed percentage commission, as it is always happening. In this example that we are doing, 1 minute, copycats ruko. In the example that we are doing, we have been given data only about basic salary. So we don't have any data about DA, etc. What is my basic salary? 50,000. So 12% will not apply on 50,000, 8,000. 12% will apply on. That means if by chance, if it was not a case of SPF, but if it's a case of RPF, what are we going to do? We will still write 8,000 in the inner column. But this time when we will exempt, we will say exempt up to 12% of salary. That is 12% of, which means RPF guys will take exemption of 6,000 and outer column mein 2,000. So SPF mein it is going to be fully exempt, but RPF mein the exemption is restricted to 12% of salary. Difference is understood. And what about PPF? There is no employer, so not applicable. We have written in the beginning itself. Employer contribution ka tax treatment is what we are learning. SPF mein fully exempt, RPF mein up to 12% of salary, and PPF mein not applicable. But we are still not done. There's one more column. Unrecognized. Unrecognized matlab you don't have government recognition. Hello? What does your common sense say? Common sense says what? It should be fully taxable. See, they are government employees, they will enjoy this. They are private sector employees, they have put efforts in getting recognition, still we gave them limited tax benefit. You have not put any effort. So logic, common sense says it should be fully. That means, can I say 8 minus 0 equal to outer column mein full 8? Fully taxable is your reaction. You have not written it, no? Fully taxable you have not written, no? Because you are right as far as the fully word is concerned. And I am going to give you a big life shock. Hashtag thug life. Na. Shocking. What's your, dekho, your common sense and my common sense is at the same place. I also feel it should be fully taxable. Poor guys who are putting effort in recognition, satisfying government ka rules and regulations are getting limited tax benefit, and who are not doing anything are getting full tax benefit. First, we will talk about the presentation. So finally, what? Come karo. Suno. See if you understand this. Because unrecognized ko we are giving same benefit as government employee. 8 minus 8 equal to 0. Common sense from you and me says 8 minus 0 equal to 8. But they are saying 8 minus 8 equal to 0. Are you unable to digest this? Is this unacceptable? Now what rubbish is this? Then why should we go for recognition? Let's stay unrecognized so that we get fully exempt. But so no. The tax treatment here is not just a tax treatment, it is also a life lesson. I'll make you understand. This tax treatment is basically, worldwide. Islam mein there is a festival called Bakri Eid. And this is, what is Bakri Eid? What happens in that festival? What happens in that festival? Ye kya hai? Before that, what happens? You tell me before that what happens? Before that halal, what happens? Huh? You make them feed. You keep them happy. You give them love because one day. So this unrecognized provident phala employee is that bakra. Right now we are feeding the bakra. It's a matter of time that this unrecognized phala employee. So we are only keeping him happy right now. Lump sum mein when you will receive that massive sum, no. When you receive that massive sum, lump sum mein, you're gone at that time. You've seen our respected honorable finance minister ka that viral meme with that hand gesture. नहीं देखा? I'll see if I have. You've not seen this? This was very, very popular. Caption read करने का जरूरत नहीं है. The gesture is self-explanatory. People are not, in fact. छोड़ो. Please understand that this is that bakra. One fine day when you receive that massive sum, at that time, halal. Right now, you enjoy your life. Life lesson hai. If you are irritated about the fact that you have to attend so many lectures, so many hours, and your other friends of college are chilling, they are enjoying life, they gave college exams and directly went to some place for partying, some sense of jealousy you have, because this is a very, very demanding course. 10 years later, when you will be financially independent, when you don't have to borrow funds from your parents for your personal expenses, but your friends will have to, because not pursuing any professional degree means go and join the family business, where you, for your basic expenses also, every month will have to borrow funds, is when you will realize the effect or impact of pursuing this course. It is very, 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 very demanding right now. So you are currently that recognized wala guy, putting efforts but getting limited benefit. And your friends in college are unrecognized provident fund, not putting any effort but getting all the benefits. 10 years later, provident fund ke case mein 15 years later, there is going to be massive change. You will be rewarded for all the trouble that you have taken in life. Right now, unrecognized provident fund, can't tax treatment. Can you believe this is matching statutory provident fund and it is becoming fully exempt because this is the bakra. Is that clear? So SPF, URPF fully exempt, RPF limited exemption. What is that limit? 12% of salary, and of course PPF it does not exist. Done. Because we have to now move to the, arey bro, there are two more amounts now for which we have to learn tax treatment. What is the third amount? Interest which will be credited in your fund balance on a year-on-year basis. Fund will give you interest, no? Is that magically increasing your balance? Column 1, SPF. Guess karo. Government employees hai bro. I'll come to that. But government employees fully exempt. There was this viral social media guy who once said, "Hamare yahan aisa hi hota hai." He was talking about tax benefits of government employees. Ashish Chatlani. ये सब कितना perfect. You remember gratuity का exemption याद है? Next. एक minute. I am changing the batteries. Self service है. You tell me what will be the tax benefit of the last column? Because without mic also I can be very very loud. Huh? Every tax benefit which is given to government employees will also form a part of the last column PPF, and accordingly PPF के अंदर also the interest component is going to be fully exempt. So SPF and PPF fully exempt. Now let's talk about private sector employees. Let's talk about RPF. Have they put efforts? So should we give them some exemption? It can't be as high as SPF and PPF because those two are created for tax benefits. We will give you tax benefit, but limited. This will be exempt up to 9.5% per annum. Means here you don't have to apply this 9.5% on any amount like you did last time on salary. You have to check the rate of interest. So no, if the fund is giving you 8%, fully exempt, 9% fully exempt, 9.5% fully exempt. But if the fund gives you 10%, then 0.5 will be taxable. And your simple calculation will be 10% is this much, so 9.5 is how much? 9.5 will be exempt, balance will become taxable. Because we want to give you limited tax benefit, unlike government employees or PPF where there is unlimited tax benefit. If you want to save taxes by making investment in private sector, best one is PPF. Clear hai? Presentation explanation is also not required because inner column you write the amount minus in the inner column and the taxable portion will come in the outer column. Now let's talk about unrecognized provident fund. Have they put efforts? No. Common sense says what? Fully taxable, but the law says appears unfair. Sir, we have put efforts, they have not done anything, but they are getting more tax benefit. Arey, ruko jara. All this you all know. Matlab, this area ka people also watch Hindustani Bhav. क्लासरूम है ब्रो. हाँ गया तू. Everyone is clear? Right now you take the benefit. One fine day you are going to be the bakra. Right now it is going to be kya bro? Fully exempt. That's the tax treatment of interest earned on provident funds. Because this is going to bring us to the last and final amount under provident funds, that is the lump sum that you receive on maturity. Lump sum received at the time of maturity. Hello, is it going to be a massive sum? First understand. Is it going to be a massive sum? How? 15 years ka employer contribution, employee contribution, interest, compounding, everything. Youth sum, irrespective of the quantum, if you are, all those who have government employees at home, only a couple of students were honest enough to openly admit it, but secretly you still might be having someone, and in case you were finding it offensive all throughout every time I say to enjoy life, maja mat. Now I think we have proved after so many sections. In fact, those having government employees themselves are volunteering. हाँ sir, right? बराबर, correct है? Why sir? Because observe the full column. Every amount received is going to be fully exempt. Even the lump sum received at maturity, and so is the case of PPF. So any jealousy towards government employees, invest in PPF. You get all the benefits. You observe the two columns, SPF and PPF. You will see they are fully same, except that one small difference. There can't be an employer, so how can they give you that tax benefit? This is a fund for non-employees, correct? Hai? And now we talk about you CA pursuing students are recognized provident fund. You have struggled all your life with limited benefits despite putting more efforts. One fine day, you will, one fine day, after all your efforts will be rewarded. You just keep the patience of that right day. Correct hai? Correct hai? Hello. So one thing is for sure, that RPF wala guys who have put efforts throughout their life should now be given the benefit. So we are, yes, giving maturity ka exemption to RPF ka guys. Now let's talk about the unrecognized provident fund. Your other friends, batchmates in college who are chilling because they are not pursuing CA, are they enjoying the life right now? 15 years later, what is going to be their condition? नहीं मैं बता, maturity है. The maturity that you receive will be divided in 4 parts. I will explain. Will you get all your principal back? Please tell me. And will you get the interest over the years? Think about it. In the principal contributions made in the fund, you made your own contribution, which in our example was 5,000, and there was some employer contribution also. Are you going to get both money back, own contribution as well as employer contribution? And do you realize in interest also there is some interest on employer contribution and there is some interest on, matlab you are in lump sum getting 4 things back: own principal, own interest, employer principal, employer interest. The lump sum received on maturity will be divided into 4 components. Are you understanding these 4 components? Very easy to understand. Now show your intelligence and tell me that out of these 4 components, there is this one thing on which we have already paid tax once upon a time. Please take a peaceful moment, digest it and give me the correct answer. It is very easy. Own ka 2 amounts hai. Principal. Why own principal is the only amount which I have paid tax? Because when I contributed that, I did not get 80C ka deduction. And no matter how much you want to punish someone, even if it's a bakra, punishment does not mean that we take tax twice. And accordingly, this is the only amount in your maturity which won't be taxable. This amount won't be taxable. Not because we have any sympathy towards you, but because you have already paid tax, because you did not take 80C deduction when you made the contribution. But are you getting all your employer money back along with interest? Tell me one thing. Every time your employer contributed money in the fund, was that over and above your salary? Yes. And all throughout, have you paid a single rupee of tax on your employer contribution? No. So whatever is your employer contribution, all this will be fully taxable under the head income from salary. Fully taxable. And are you getting interest on your own contribution? This income will also be taxable, but because it has got no involvement of your employer, it will be taxable under IFOS. Matlab, effectively, this total amount is going to be your taxable amount, that lump sum amount at the time of maturity. Under different heads, they will give you the breakup when they give you the lump sum. Now the question is, sir, so where is this a punishment? Because ultimately, I paid tax earlier or I paid tax now. The amount on which I am paying tax remains the same. Employer contribution was earlier fully exempt, so now it is getting taxed. Where is it a punishment? It is a punishment only those students will understand who have basic idea about tax slabs. If I would have offered the amount to tax on a year-on-year basis, so the bracket would have been a lower bracket. But the moment I offered such a big amount together in one particular year, it will drag me right up to the 30% bracket. And after so many years when I am getting my money, I will go to the 30% tax bracket. Do you understand? You understand why I call it Bakra? Because over the life of the fund, we protected you. We were feeding you. But finally, time is to boy halal. Abhi bol.
So isn't it contradictory the interest whether to be exempt and now we are taxing it under IFRS?
What is contradictory? We have never paid tax on this interest. So now we will pay tax. Is this your extra income? Meri baat sun. You give principal to someone, you get that principal back. Principal can't be taxed. But is interest your extra income? It has to be taxed. It accrued over the years. But over the years we granted you exemption. So have you paid a single rupee of tax on interest income during the lifetime of the fund? On receipt basis, we are taking tax on the entire amount. So instead of paying tax on a year-on-year basis, the entire amount is getting taxed together when you are receiving the lump sum. Employer has got nothing to do with this. The fund belongs to you now. एम्प्लॉयर का इनकम किधर है? एम्प्लॉयर का इट इज एक्सपेंस. आप क्या बोल रहे हो? employer's contribution over the years you have not paid tax, but together you will pay tax on that lump sum amount. वो तो पूरा सेम ही है ना. Only difference is head of income. Only difference is head of income. Whatever is connected with your employer, only that much can come under salary. This interest is not connected with your employer, so it will come under IFOS. But the total sum will be taxable in lump sum at the time of maturity on cash basis. समझा?
So what if the employee tells the employer to pay less salary? You contribute their salary to the provident fund.
But you'll get money after 15 years if you are willing for. Everyone is in a hurry. Who is not in a hurry? Just imagine someone telling me that today you won't get 50,000. Today you get only 10,000 and 48 I will contribute in RPF. Bro, आज 10,000 में my expense only will not be met. So how you give this as an option? You can make little difference, 50 plus 8 को you can take like 45 plus, ये maximum this much. You can't be taking like, ऐसा बोल दो ना, don't give anything in salary, give full amount in provident fund only. 15 years later I will get. Small amount का manipulation is not going to, we are going to sit and talk about crores of rupees. We don't have to talk about thousands. Clear है? Tax treatment. Everyone is clear about the explanatory notes also. Are we done with 4 sums का tax treatment in 4 types of funds? All 4? अच्छा, as complicated as it appears. So no, provident fund can come only as a 1 mark adjustment in a big salary का question. क्यों? कि in that question it can be only one of the 4 funds. You can't have all 4 together. And from one of the 4 funds, if today is the year of contribution, then it won't be year of maturity. And if today is the year of maturity, then it won't be year of contribution. Means only one of these amounts will come. You can't have all 16 adjustments together. 1 mark ka adjustment will come in a big salary ka question. When we go to full-fledged chapter ka questions, like we had that Chirkut Kumar wala question in house property. So we will revise pura ka pura chapter in that question. At that time, we will be doing it. And if you are not willing to come on Sunday because so there will be a gap between we completing these concepts and doing full-fledged salary ka questions. And I trust you that you will revise and come. Then only you will understand the question that we are solving. So provident fund as a concept that way is over, but we still have a couple of notes to be written. ऐसा ही है bro, this is direct tax. Every time you think it is over, something is still remaining. Subject only is like this. I also regret I should have taken up strategic management as a subject. 5 lectures में over. Same 50 marks. But direct tax is a never ending subject. ऐसा ही है. RPF is the lump sum at maturity fully exempt. ए 3 bench बार जाएगा. And then you don't tell me that, sir, I was not involved. Otherwise, you change your place right now only. Then don't tell me that it was not me who was involved in the conversation. It won't be one student, it will be an entire row. Is RPF ka lump sum at maturity fully exempt? RPF ka last thing. During the entire life of the fund, they struggled with limited exemption. And then finally, we gave them the reward. Well, you'll get angry. Okay, sir, aisa kaise? But no, the condition is very easy to satisfy. And it is required also. I will explain. Condition is very, very easy to satisfy. They are only telling you this much, that you complete minimum 5 years ka lock-in of your provident fund money. It should not be a case where you contribute money in the provident fund, RPF, and next year you withdraw the money. Premature withdrawal from RPF is going to be taxable. In order to get tax exemption, you have to keep your funds in provident fund for a minimum period of 5 years. Matlab, 1 minute, come here. Is this maturity fully exempt? About this maturity, we are writing note 3. What is that note? That we will give you full exemption, but provided your funds were locked for a minimum period of 5 years. You can't be putting money in 1 year and withdrawing in the next year. Then you're not serving the purpose. So RPF का maturity is exam, provided you have completed minimum 5 years. Does that make sense? Or बोला. Or means if you are not able to fulfill this condition, we allow you to fulfill another condition. Sometimes it is practically not possible to complete 5 years because I have changed my job. And I'll tell you what corporate employees are, bro. They are crazy. They change job every 2 years. Every 2 years. Actually, the coaching classes it is going on. Every 2 years, professor is somewhere else. हाँ कसम से market में all this is going on. Okay. But अभी चल रहा है तो चल रहा है मतलब. But corporate employees, they don't join any job for the job. They join any job only to leave within 2 years. So is it possible that after 2 years I have changed my job? So is this point going to force you? No, you can't leave the job for 5 years. No. So listen, we give you second option. You can transfer balance in your provident fund account from one employer to other and complete 5 years. Means together their target is to make you lock your money for 5 years. You work at one employer for 5 years. During those 5 years, don't withdraw the money. Supposingly after 2 years, you want to change your job. So the new employer will also be maintaining a PF account. Transfer money from your old employer ka PF account to the new employer ka PF account without receiving the cash in hand. Their target is simple. You should not get the money. The money should remain with provident fund. So you transfer from this employer to that employer. And so no, total mein you have to complete 5 years. So 2 years at the first employer, so just complete 3 at the second employer. And again your maturity is going to be exempt. So what is the joint target of the 2 points? Make you complete 5 years at one employer or at multiple employers ka total. Does that make sense? Supposingly you are not able to do that also. Target is to make you complete 5 years, but supposingly you are unable to do that also. So we give you a third option. You are not able to complete your 5 years because of this reason. Just imagine Manthan ne job join kiya. Every day he'll go to job and first thing that he will do is go off to sleep, only to get up sham ko when he has to go home. First bench पे बैठ के in front of the teacher if you can go off to sleep every few minutes. तो employment में तो your boss is not going to keep a continuous watch also. He'll just give you work and get busy with his work. सो जाएगा. ऐसा employees have gone that poor guy the boss had to shut down the business. Now that the business is shut down within 2 years of Manthan's job, so you understand he can't complete 5 years. Hey bro, how will you complete 5 years? The boss has shut down the business. That office is sold to someone else. So what do you go? Go outside that office and sleep for 3 years. Because I want to complete 5 years. Not possible. When 5 years cannot be completed because the employer has shut down, cessation, discontinuance of employer ka business, so we will allow you the exemption even before 5 years. Means target is to make you complete 5 years. At one place, multiple places, employer ka business has shut down, then you are not able to complete. Yeah, we give you one last possibility. Any other genuine reason. So this has left a big room for litigation and bribery. You have to basically go and convince. Hey, idhar dekho. Look here, please. Look here. You have to go and convince your assessing officer that your reason was genuine. Convince properly, cash or kind, but convince your assessing officer that your reasons were genuine. Samjhe? Hello? Suno, I'll give you one example. Okay? Supposingly you join that job. 2 years, you've kept your money locked in. One day, when you were handling that complicated machinery in the factory, parallelly you were also watching reels. These days, cultured generation, we have all gone crazy. Security guys watching reels. My grandmother, we are all talking, she is watching reels. And she is, my grandmother, she watches reels. She told me, that you apply the following things on your skin so your skin will brighten. I said, one, I don't want it, and two, don't believe everything that you are watching. No, she is like, no, internet pe aaya. So when you are in some other zone, जैसे some people do that also, no, online lecture attend करते करते tax का, college का, exam का studies you are doing. Multitasking does not work everywhere. Unfortunately, because of your lack of attention, you get trapped in, God forbid, you get trapped in any factory machinery. You lose your arms or legs or limbs or fingers. It is not possible for you to continue this job. You have to leave the job and withdraw your provident fund money before completing 5 years. Can be an example of genuine reason. Now, Abhi, I have told you a long story. Short, you can say example factory accident. So you understand what can be. I have told you multiple times. Don't blindly copy what I am doing. Also take down the example because future date where these examples are going to be useful for you. So because of that, you could not complete 5 years. This can be an example of genuine reason. Means effectively and in totality, we are interested in making you complete 5 years. At one place, multiple places ka total. Employer has shut down business, so you cannot complete 5 years, or any other genuine reason. Then the lump sum received on maturity will be exempt. And by the way, they are not cumulative conditions. So any one condition fulfilled, you get exemption. And it is very easy to fulfill this condition. One last doubt, I make it clear, those who have practical knowledge will have this doubt, sir, provident fund matures after 15 years. But tax exemption you will get after 5 years. Matlab, if you withdraw after 5, before 15, the fund will not give you full money. They will put some penalty for withdrawing premature, but there will be no income tax. So 15 years ke baad if you withdraw, no income tax, no penalty. Before 5 years you withdraw, so income tax and penalty both. After 5 years you withdraw, fund will levy penalty of premature withdrawal, but tax won't. And if you look at it only from tax POV, you have to target completion of 5 years and become eligible for your benefit. Clear hai? Bolo. If employer has shut down business and then I don't want to join any other employment and I start my own organization, so फिर how can I complete 5 years at multiple employers? खुद का कुछ start किया था. So we need second point for those who are joining other job and completing 5 years. And third point that my employer shut down. मेरे साथ तो actually हुआ था. I was making fun of Manthan. I joined a coaching class and class only shut down. Not because of me, owner passed away. That is. अभी you are like you joined so owner passed away. तुम कुछ भी बोल सकते हो. But that class shut down. So supposingly there was then way back. This is 2011-12 के आसपास I'm talking about. That class shut down. So now I decided to start my own class thereafter. So I do not have a new employer to complete 5 years. So I will get covered in the third point. And supposingly someone has a new employer, I leave one and join job in another class. So total I have to complete 5 years. So these are applicable to two different people. And effectively you fall in any one of them, you are eligible. So you complete 5 years or your boss has shut down. Any one of the cases. ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है that your boss is continuing but you are leaving the job. That is for second wala people. They are two different. Why are you getting confused? They are two different points altogether. There is nothing common between the second condition and the third condition. Even if you leave, it can't be applicable. If you start your own thing, then how can you have provident fund of your own business? You are the employer, not the employee anymore. The only thing that is possible is for the first 3 years in your new job, don't withdraw that PF ka money, let it remain locked with the PF authority. Tell them that keep it with you. I am not continuing with the job, so there won't be new contributions, but I will withdraw only after 5 years. That's the only possibility. Okay? Huh? You can, but then you have not completed 5 years. Yeah, I am assuming you have shifted before 5 years. Condition 1 dissatisfied. Condition 2 dissatisfied. There is no new employer to transfer your balance. Condition 3 dissatisfied because your employer is still continuing his business. And this can't be, sir, I don't want to work. That can't be a genuine reason. Accident is a genuine reason. But then still, I have a way out to get tax benefit. Don't withdraw the money. Problem is withdrawal. You leave the job, new contributions will stop. But the existing contribution, you keep it locked in. complete 5 years, then you withdraw, become eligible for tax exemption. But then for that much time you won't get that fund for your own business. अब आपको ऐसा है that for business I want the fund, तो pay tax and withdraw the fund, as simple as that. बोल हाथ वाला.
सर पैसा लॉक इन करने से गवर्नमेंट को क्या फायदा?
हाँ,
पैसा लॉक इन करने से गवर्नमेंट को क्या फायदा?
प्रोविडेंट फंड का अथॉरिटी इज रन बाय गवर्नमेंट ओनली. पैसा इज विद देम, विद दैट दे आर मेकिंग योर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. समझा? ये अभी से हम लोग ऐसे वी कैन डू दिस. हाँ, इधर और कोई है? अच्छा ये नहीं तो ऐसे दिख. हाँ, that's the only option left for the merged lectures now. And apart from that, your friends of class will be useful for you. They will make space for you very soon. अभी आपने वो सिस्टम चालू करवा दिया तो I will continue that. I don't want to do it, but if you don't change, then I will have to change. One of us has to change. अब आप डिसाइड कर लो. Okay? तो ladies and gentlemen, हो गया क्लियर? गवर्नमेंट के पास ही the money stays, so they can do whatever they want. ये क्लियर है? प्रोविडेंट फंड का कॉन्सेप्ट इज नॉट ओवर. I have not done it. This happened auntie. 1st February 21, our respected honorable finance minister, if you remember, she started bringing some changes for insurance policies also from this date. Try to recollect. She said insurance as a tax benefit has come for those who can afford low cost wala policies. So earlier there was only percentage limit. From this date she introduced rupees limit. She said anybody who can afford high amounts should be disqualified from exemption. And same logic she brought in provident fund also. She said if the contribution in provident fund is more than rupees 2.5 lakh, that depends on your pocket ka ability. No, there are some people who can afford massive contributions. The interest on the excess amount will be taxable for everyone, to hell with the fact that you are also a government employee. मतलब सुनो, your pocket can afford more contribution. So provident fund ka money is going as an investment. So right now the money won't be with your disposal, at your disposal, but you have that financial ability. Normal people can contribute what about 5-6,000 per month, 70-80,000 per annum. You are contributing 8 lakhs per annum because you have income. Possible hai? You contributed how much? Now tell me, provident fund will give you interest on how much contribution? 8 lakh. Will there be interest on 250 and 550? Interest on 250 will be eligible for whatever exemption is taught. Interest on 550, that is the excess, will be fully taxable. Interest on the excess after 2,50,000 will be fully taxable. Tell me one thing, 3 lakh contribute kiya, so interest on what amount will be taxable? 50,000. Anything that you contribute after 2,50,000, the interest will lose exemption. It will be entirely taxable. Are you understood? Total contribution. नहीं, ये 2,50,000 is separate contribution of employer and employee. Supposingly employer contributes 3 lakh and employee contributes 3 lakh. Separate hai. Both the 250 ka interest exempt and 50 ka interest exempt. And this will become clear in the next line because this is still not over. Supposingly in your case there is no employer contribution. One, it can be case of PPF. Two, it can be any other case where your company is not covered under Provident Fund ka Act. So employer is not giving any contribution. Voluntarily you want to make any contribution, that is your choice. But employer is not giving any contribution. Possible hai? So we will make the limit double. Here, interest on excess over 5 lakh will be taxable. मतलब सुनो, identify two employees in your mind, A and B. A के case में there is own as well as employer contribution. So both of them will get 250 का balance, 250 का interest. Anything over and above 250 will be taxable. Supposingly employer and employee both have contributed 3 lakh. So 50,000 का both interest will be taxable. ये clear है? Everyone? But supposingly my employer is not contributing only anything, then entire contribution I will have to make. I contribute 6 lakh from my pocket because there is no employer contribution. So for my future ka safety, I am making double contribution. So that's not fair, no? Because the other guy uska employer is also contributing, you are taking double benefit. So for those people without any employer contribution, for your own contribution, we will give you 5 lakh ka threshold. So when employer and employee both contribute, the individual contributions will be eligible for 2.5, 2.5, and when employer does not contribute, it will be total 5 lakh. Effectively, after this amount, whatever you contribute, we are not putting a prohibition on the amount of contribution. And fund will also give you interest on that excess. The interest on that excess contribution is going to be taxable. It will lose all the exemptions that you have studied in these columns. Just like for insurance, she brought that limit that anything after this, I don't want to give tax benefit. She brought the same limit here also. Anything after this, I won't be giving you tax benefit. Is that understood? But you don't expect any question on this. The probability is too less. This is finally your concept, the big and long concept of provident funds. Everyone is clear? Sure. Next, section 10, 13. And now everything is happening fatafat. 11, 12, 13. And in fact, at 10, 14 allowances will get over. 10, 13. Contribution to approved superannuation fund. Now then, do you already know the meaning of superannuation? Hello? What is superannuation? Normal retirement. And while doing provident fund, did I tell you that to safeguard your future, you have multiple options? To put money in PF is your choice, but then to buy equity or mutual fund or gold or silver is also your choice. Taking a home loan so that your family has home for future is also your choice, and sending your children to school to safeguard their future is also your choice. How to plan or shape your future is exactly under your control. So we are not going to sit here and give you gyan on which future investment is better. I am not going to make a statement like gold is safe because it does not appear. And I am not going to make a statement that don't invest in crypto because I myself do it. So I am not going to give you any financial management ka unnecessary gyan here. My purpose of coming before you is simple. If I contribute in provident fund, this is the tax treatment. If I contribute in superannuation fund, this is the tax treatment. Where you want to contribute, for your choice. Financial management ka advice I can give outside the class. You can take my visiting card and come to my office to discuss that with you. I will charge less, but I will. Because एक मिनट, in case of confusion, sir वो admission में तो नहीं cover नहीं था. Financial management advice, tax planning, sir we are entering this new business, so we want to structure the taxation. I do everything. For you I will charge less, but I will. आप समझा? So we are not here to do that. We are here only to understand tax treatment of various investment. PF का understood? Just like PF, there is a fund for your future, for your retirement. That fund is called superannuation fund. Just like PF, there will be some employer contribution, employee contribution, interest and maturity. But this does not have variety. It is common treatment. So in 2 minutes, it will get over. First, employee contribution, which you will make from your own money. You will get ATC deduction. Means take that total amount in your salary. It will come in the gross total income, but from the total, we will subtract this. Hello. Second, there will be employer contribution. Very simple. Exempt up to rupees 1.5. Means if the employer is contributing 1 lakh, fully exempt. 130, fully exempt. 2 lakh, 50,000 taxable. 5 lakh to 350 taxable. First 150 exempt, anything above 150 will be taxable. Very easy. Lump sum amount hai. And as far as your C and D, what are C and D? There is not much tax treatment that you have to study under superannuation fund. This is easy. Abhi easy maybe don't make frustrated face. Ye to easy hai na. It does not have variety. It does not have family tree. Abhi aayega. So yesterday you didn't say anything when I left you 15 minutes early. क्या reaction था भाई? क्या reaction? I thought that वो someone taught me कि वो Korean way of affecting वो क्या showing. This was basically how people reacted when I morning वाले गुस्सा हो रहे भाई, evening वाले को I had to keep at par. No, so them I had left 15 minutes early because that part got over earlier. मैं क्या करूँ? I had to keep. I was told के to merge lectures either take 15 minutes extra or leave 15 minutes early. तो जैसा हुआ वैसा कर दी. करेक्ट है. तो don't give me bad reactions for this because I am not drafting the law. ये जो है वो है. We will have to do this. Is the tax treatment clear of all the four things? Everyone? Now that same 2021 auntie now brought, सुन लो अभी ये these couple of lines will complete 10-13 and now that I am in middle of 10-13 and left with only 2 lines, I won't leave you before completing this. So if you want to talk to each other for 2-3 minutes, I am ready to wait, then we will, but I am not leaving you before this. कर लो बात, कर श्लोक, कर पूछ ले, जितना बात करना है कर. I will wait until you tell me कि सर चलेगा. Carry on. बोल, तू बोलेगा. I'll wait for half an hour. Next teacher will come, I will still wait. बोल. तो अभी मैं बोलूं, may I please? Auntie said in 2021 that the total benefit that you are taking with respect to RPF में were you taking some benefit, some interest का exemption, some principal का exemption? Under SAF is this, नहीं superannuation fund. SPF नहीं बोला. This benefit मतलब previous section का benefit, this section का benefit, and later in our syllabus we will also come across a third type of fund. ये we have never written the full form, so I'll write it for your convenience here. There is a scheme in our country called notified pension scheme. So there is some tax benefit in RPF that we have studied. There is some benefit in superannuation fund which we have studied, and later on in our syllabus we will be learning some benefit of notified pension scheme as well. Is there some tax benefit in all the three? That total will be restricted to a maximum of 7,50,000. मैं क्या बोला, auntie remove all these sections or stop giving the tax benefit. Don't irritate here. The individual limit, then total limit, then kitna total will be restricted. When she brought this, it was easy to understand what's her intention. She is like, we wanted to give all these tax benefit to small middle class people so that they can get exemptions. But then there are people who are taking massive cumulative exemptions. RPF में you're taking massive exemption, for any superannuation fund में, and then later we have notified pension scheme. उसमें भी you're taking total benefit, which is a very very high number, very high amount. So we want to restrict that total to 7,50,000. We understood the intention, but the intention created a problem. So no, ma'am, there is some benefit in RPF. 12% of salary, interest is exempt up to 9.5%. That's one tax benefit. There is some benefit in superannuation fund. Interest is fully exempt. Employer contribution is exempt up to 1,50,000. Likewise, there is some benefit in notified pension scheme. You are telling me total maximum 750. But which one do I take first? What should be my priority? What should be preference? First I take RPF or first I take superannuation? What should be the first? Nothing specified. Matlab she brought an amendment which we can understand what was her intention, but then it was getting practically difficult to understand what she wants to say. How to implement this? I have understood 3 things ka total will be maximum 750, but which one should be my priority? What should be first, second or third? No clarity. Chartered accountants approach, man, we are not understanding anything. What should I tell my client to take first? You are saying total 750, but there has to be some priority. She did not give any priority in the act when she brought the amendment. Then later, she released a circular in which she gave a formula. I into 1 plus t raised to r raised to n ऐसा सम. Worse than your derivatives and integration. And she said that if you use this formula, so you will get your answer without giving any explanation. That is a nonsense, rubbish formula. I normally don't write this in notes but there is a reason why I'm writing this. It's a stupid rubbish formula. इस पे you will get 2 questions in ICAI study material, which since 2021 only for formula purpose they have kept it. They have never asked it. They will never ask, because just like derivatives and integration, no one, including the person who made it, understood the formula. Why am I telling you this? Because by chance I am told that most of the students of this class have ordered ICAI study material for extra practice. So when you come across that question in salary chapter, you start wondering, sir ne to bola tha theory I am covering fully. So what is this? This is the nonsense formula. So that when you do, you know this, that you have to leave those 2 questions. And any student here comes and tells me that, sir, no sir, if that comes for 2 marks, so I will lose, because then otherwise I'll get 48. So you give me in writing that you are going to get 50 on 50. I'll take a separate tuition for you and explain the full formula. 2-3 hours. I will not levy any charge, where otherwise I'm very expensive for private tuitions. But writing mein do ke, you will get 50 out of. Ek to I am telling you it won't come. You trust issues. Abhi bhi hai. Early bird mein tha I know. Abhi hai. Abhi I don't believe you have trust issues. Otherwise we wouldn't have a problem of no space in the class. Normally it is assumed that I have seen couple of times my lecture gets over, half class gets up and leaves. I have seen that. Ye to pura side. This full portion of the class is empty. So if you are present and attending class, matlab you should not be having trust issues. I am telling you, wo 2 question milega. Leave, because that formula is illogical. There is no explanation. Still, if you want to read, you can read from ICAI study material. It is absolutely not required. I am writing this here because I have seen over the years student come across that question and then say, sir, we have not covered this. I am telling you that you have to leave this. You'll come across those 2 questions, and that's your 10-13 superannuation. We'll continue in the next class, which is tomorrow. Independent class hai. No merger tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.